What is up, YouTube and Twitch? This is the Chords V Plugs podcast. I am Blizza81.
Big Red 773.
We are back with another installment.
Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody enjoyed Kamala Harris's long weekend.
Yeah. Super long weekend.
Fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Did she say anything on actual Memorial Day? Did she cover for that at all?
I can't say. Hopefully she fucking did, but I'm not sure. I think
I'm not a follower of hers on Twitter. So
but yeah, I definitely found the comment striking. You know, like how unaware could you fucking be? But I guess it's just a day off, I guess, one of many for her.
Yeah, just a long weekend.
Sort of made me think about some of these same people who, once told you to never forget 9/11 are anti, I guess patriotism is really the root of it, Forget about this Memorial Day. It's just a long weekend. Forget about 9/11 because we need you to, we need to beat 1-6 down your throat. You have to
forget the fuck doing that, aren't they?
Yeah, you have to forget about how after 9/11, everybody came together, in multiple different ways. But one of the big ones being, there was American flags everywhere. It reignited patriotism, for a younger generation and, for a lot of the older generations as well. And we're sort of in this, living this bizarro post 9/11 era, where it's sort of the exact opposite,
Yeah. It's how quickly things have turned. I mean, not quickly, but yeah, we were definitely extremely united in the aftermath of that. I mean, for a long while too.
Now it's forget 9/11. Some assholes are even going as far as to say that the supposed insurrection was it was worse. It was it's sort of sick.
Yeah, I saw today that there still have been 0 sedition or seditious activities charges, period, so far, still. Hey, Sharon's here. It's up in the chat. Welcome back. Happy to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend went smashingly.
Thanks for dropping in.
Trying to change this screenshot, the thumbnail for Twitch.
So John Cena inspired me to work on my Mandarin. And lo and behold, I discovered Fauci is Chinese for Fall Guy.
Yeah. We shall see, right?
And we were gonna do a title this episode, Anti-Faucist last week, and we ended up not running with that, but the episode ended up being a lot about clips of Fauci, the Fauci and the Rand Paul, and the us basically saying that the fall is coming for this guy. And it didn't take long. It was about a week or so for this Freedom of Information Act drop to come out, which you can see in its entirety on our Discord. But the ship is sinking.
For sure. Hopefully, like I said, I can't fucking wait. I'm stoked.
It's funny. Remember when Governor Cuomo said he and Fauci are a lot like De Niro and Pesci?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck, was he right? But I'm just wondering, what movie are they in? Is it one of the movies where Pesci gets whacked at the end? I think we're in. I think we might be in Goodfellas.
Yeah, well, yeah. Could
Could be
be.
Could be Casino.
Could be. They might be. They might be closer to that than anybody thought.
Said it. On TV is probably one of his fucking Emmy-winning fucking performances,
Yeah, right.
hidden in plain sight. Just a couple of Goodfellas up here, running vaccines.
Yeah, man. I've been looking forward to the downfall of him. Period. Ever since the first lie. The first time the news came out that he said, what did he say? He said, "Don't wear masks." And then it came out afterwards that he said that as to not trigger panic buying of masks so that medical workers still had access to them.
Yeah, that's what about did it for me as well, because all the other stuff is coming out at the same time about how deadly and how crazy this thing is. First thing that comes out, no masks, and then they say wear masks, and I'm thinking to myself, I've done a lot of jobs, you know working with different chemicals, working with asbestos, shit like that. I understand breathalyzers, how they work. I've seen firemen. I understand that, if you're spray painting, for example, there's a specific type of breathalyzer because those fumes, are microscopic
Yep.
and can get through shit. If you're, firemen, as another example, have an entire fucking like Buzz Lightyear face covering because the shit, a simple cloth mask isn't going to keep any of this shit out. So me, a critical thinker, a logical man, so this mask really isn't doing anything. It's fucking nothing. And from then on, it was I took nothing out of this guy's mouth fucking serious.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, we've talked about it. And even in these emails, he talked about it back then. I don't know how many of the emails you've made it through or if you've read them at all, but he talks about some of that stuff. And
we're gonna get into some of the emails today. There's some juicy tidbits, the ones that have came out as of yesterday.
Yeah, the new ones, the FOIA ones.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, do you want to get right into the news?
There's some juice in there. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at our president and find out what he's hard at work at. What he's been up to while this world's been.
Cool. Yeah, that'll give me a chance to grab the Discord link and then share the stream in a couple of different Discords. So let everybody know we're on.
Look, the world's basically falling apart. You can't fucking deny it. Somebody's fucking attacking Iran, blowing up their biggest warship and their fucking oil refineries in the same fucking week. China and Taiwan ain't fucking slowing down. And where's our guy? Where's Joe Cool?
Where he normally is, the ice cream shop.
And how about the fucking press? How about the fucking press, man? Oh, adorable.
Isn't that cute? They all just laugh and they just feed right into it. I'm sick of the press. I'm like really sick of the fucking press, actually.
We did the journalism episode, 2 episodes ago? and they are not they're not redeeming themselves at all.
They sure aren't. It's been like that for what, almost the better part of what, 10 years now?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As far as it seems to me, anyway. Could go back longer. I don't know if I paid attention close enough past about 10 years ago.
All right, this ain't working on my stream. I got to close this window down and do it in the same tab so I can actually see it. Testing out new things with the StreamYards, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work.
Yeah, I've been messing with OBS and Discord the last couple of days. Fucking around trying to get used to all this new tech that I'm not used to using.
Fucking when Joe Biden's not getting ice cream, you know he's flying home to Delaware every fucking weekend. Every weekend.
Wasn't that a problem when our the last president was playing golf all the time?
Orange Man golfed too much. That's what a lot of people said. It would outrage them. All right. We're back now. You could bring it back up. But also, you know, who's weekend president? Who's running the show when Joe's at home hiding in his basement or on his rocking chair?
Kamala Harris, probably.
You think so? I mean, she doesn't even live in the White House, so she's running the country from
her mobile device. All right. Cool. I think I got shared again. I'm gonna go back to sharing. Go ahead and take it away.
New Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrice, I don't want to butcher it, but Colors announces she is resigning. That's the 4-house lady. Yeah. Retiring to her 4 mansions.
Yeah, she's retiring. Too much heat, and she's got like books and movies she's working on nowadays.
Yeah, there's one that I saw earlier today. Another guy dropped. He was a founder, and he left because he said that they're racist. Called Black Lives Matter racist, and left. I don't know if I shared that one or not. We might have it coming up shortly. And then before the Fauci emails came out, you know, the wheels were already turning on ousting Fauci. You know, the fall, as I said, you know, Fauci is Chinese for fall guy. Somebody's going to go down for this. It ain't going to be China. China's not going to pay the $10 trillion in reparations that Trump called for today, which is fucking hilarious. But there'll be some bombs dropped long before anybody fucking collects that. I mean, aren't we in debt to them anyway by, you know, about that much?
You know what? That's something I haven't even looked into. I know they bought a lot of the bonds.
I haven't looked into our debt to them in a long fucking time. It's been a couple years.
I wonder.
Pretty outrageous. I'm gonna maybe do a quick search right now.
Well, rudimentary Chinese debt search.
We have the technology.
Right. All right, guys.
So the Asian nation owns almost $1.1 trillion, about 4% of the 28 trillion U.S. national debt. So they could give it. We'll call it 9. We'll call it 9. We'll call it 9 trillion on the reparations.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. I thought it was more, but then again, I mean, the trillions, nobody used that word up until, you know, very recently. Trillion was the
World Bank holding a big chunk of that.
All right, guys. I'm going to pop the Discord link into the chat if anybody wants to jump on panel and talk to us after we're done with the news. We're going to have just open invitations up, I guess.
Yeah, I think one of my guys might hop in here. Might try to get him to do some sports picks for the playoffs if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm down with it. Sharon says, did you know her partner's a white woman? The Black Lives Matter lady? The Patrice Cullors? Is that her name?
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
surprised,
I
but
did not know that at all. Yeah.
there was another. You see the Black Lives Matter UK lady that got shot? They said that I know there were people on Twitter putting out tweets talking about how nobody should fear for their lives for doing social justice, and then it came out later that it was not white people that shot her.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, her partner's a white woman. Imagine that.
There's a good meme. I'm trying to remember what it said. It was Lori Lightfoot. It was something in the streets, oppressed in the sheets.
What a joke that is, man. I was watching somebody else on Twitch when that was all coming out, that she put out that statement saying that she wasn't going to do interviews for anybody that wasn't a POC. And the person that I was watching was like, if you needed any more evidence to show that Fox News is racist, check out this story. And it was a Fox News article talking about that. And the dude was basically just saying it was lies. I was like, dude, are you kidding me right now? Like she doubled down and tripled down on that since then. Like, that's real. She literally said that. Not doing interviews with non-minority interviewees. Interviewers? I think that would be the right way to say it.
So moving back along the timeline here. So 6 days ago from now, probably three to 4 days after our last show, we start getting a little bit more coming out of this COVID possibility, this switch in narrative. Man, narratives sure have been changing since Orange Man left, haven't they?
Yeah, the narrative it must be adhered to at all times.
Yep, the narrative is shifting, but still being clung to for dear fucking life. But Lieutenant General Michael Flynn says COVID-19 may be weaponized operation by China. Yeah, definitely can't rule that shit out. And a couple days after that, there's a study which you can see on the Daily Mail. COVID has no credible natural ancestor and was created by Chinese scientists who then tried to cover their tracks with retroengineering to make it seem like it naturally arose from bats. And this is again before these emails came out. It's there's a trend here, an undeniable fucking trend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like we were talking off stream before we started, the whole I really, really hope, you know what I mean? I hope it is natural. I really do, because the implications if it's not are almost too much to even think about.
Yeah, it's up in the air. It's absolutely up in the air. As people have been saying the whole time that there's too many strange circumstances, and not just regarding this disease, but regarding other events which we've talked about, other unfortunate accidents.
Yeah.
And just to make you question and to at least hold out on forming your having a lockdown opinion on something until everything comes out, because you think everything. I'll tell you to wait a week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, how many times in the last year have we seen that, where something happens and immediately it's in the news and they're condemning somebody? You know what I mean? just to find out later that it was absolutely the other way around.
We call that a Smollett around here.
Around here in, what did he say? Trump MAGA country? MAGA country, Chicago. So dumb. So dumb to me.
One small victory for the resistance. And if you are out there listening to this, you are the resistance. UK vaccine passport plans to be scrapped.
Nice.
No
Yeah.
shots fired, no fucking death threats, nothing. Just fucking resist. Live your life, say fuck you, and go about your fucking business. And they can't touch you.
Yeah, I heard one of the other states actually put through legislation saying that they weren't going to allow passports too. I don't remember exactly what state. I should have had this written down somewhere, but I just saw it.
And that's in the fucking UK too, where they're like aggressively fucking globalist right now, stripping away fucking even more rights than they already fucking have.
Yeah. And the people just seem like them. Yeah, they're cool with it. I mean, it's fucking wild, but whatever. That's why we told them to fuck off a couple 100 years ago.
Here's a very interesting story that fucking was going around a couple days ago. UNICEF says efforts to block children from accessing pornography online might infringe on their human rights. Man, what's this Greta Thunberg gonna look like? Who's gonna take this charge?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude. Like, what? I did see that Poso posted this the other day. I didn't click on it. I wasn't too interested in hearing the story aside from the headline, but it seems a little off.
Seems like it just seems like easing up, on pedophiles. I'm just gonna call it what it is. We did an episode, one of our earlier episodes before Biden even won the election. I called it, Biden's pedo renaissance, because they flourish under his administrations. And I mean, there's not much different in, what did he say? It's been 15 months he's been president already.
Happy Halloween.
There's this other thing that came out today too that said Biden once said that all the beds in like 10 years from now, like 2030, all the hospital beds in the world will be filled with Alzheimer's patients. Like, is that what Jill tells him, just so he doesn't feel bad about his affliction?
Right.
Everybody's gonna have it, Joe. It's not just you.
He's been having his normal flubs in basically every speech I've seen.
Children accessing pornography online.
Lag. Lag? Is it lagging out, Ninja? Did I break it?
Well, that sucks. Hopefully not. We had problems at the end of the last fucking stream. They fucking they cut the internet on me right at the fucking end.
Oh yeah.
Seems like we might have stricken a chord. But I mean, fucking UNICEF, man. Where the fuck do they get off? I don't understand the pro to this at all. I don't understand where you would fucking go with this.
Yeah.
Like, why are you? Who the fuck is concerned with sexualizing children right now, other than
for real,
somebody looking to take advantage of a fucking kid? They're a child. They are not responsible. They're not mature enough to make these fucking decisions, nor responsible enough to make these sort of fucking decisions, whether it's appropriate or not. They are
right. I mean, I could only talk about our culture, so I'm not familiar enough with any other culture, but I think it's safe to assume that giving children access to pornography is not a good thing. Bitch. What's up, Buckeye? Thanks for fucking stopping in.
I mean, it definitely seems, that at least if not children are running this country, the childish are running this country. And
My stream is unwatchable. What's up? Maybe hit the refresh button, Ninja. Buckeye, is it fucked up on your end too, bud? Yeah, Buckeye says it looks fine on his end, Ninja. Maybe it's your broke ass internet all the way out in the fucking boonies.
keeps buffering out. Other Twitch channels are working fine. Well,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting any.
Try my channel, Big Red 773 on Twitch. I'm on the Twitch as well.
Yeah, actually, I can. I appreciate it, Buckeye. I know you tell me. Here, I'll throw a link up. What do you say? Fucking jerk. I know he said something smart.
I was just laughing at I tell you, what a swell guy.
Oh.
Yeah, saying Sharon's been here since we got in. Sharon hasn't complained about the stream at all. Yeah, maybe they're throttling you. What sort of ill-advised letter sites have you been on lately?
I've been talking a lot of shit on Twitch, but that's about it.
I'm talking about Ninja. He's the one that's having the trouble.
Right?
He's the one being monitored right now.
The fuck, Ninja? What government server did you find your way into?
What ideas have you been entertaining?
Buckeye's doing math again. All right. The function of x equals 2 plus the sine of x to the 5th. What do I got for you? I sat next to really smart kids in high school, so I have nothing. I can maybe forward you. I can maybe forward you their contact information. What is FX? FX has the movies. I'm stoked. Yeah, I could read it. I just don't know how to do it. I think anything with that sign in it, that was calculator talk. Like I could not just do this kind of math without a calculator.
We'll leave it up there if anybody can solve. Yeah, I mean it can be read, but could read some Spanish too. I know what the fuck it says.
I did miss that. Yeah, my eyes are bad. It looked like just the extension of the loop on the F the first time I saw it. I have to watch on YouTube. Twitch wasn't working. Well, I appreciate you coming through, Ninja.
Thanks for not giving up on us.
Right. Thanks for mosey on down the road to a different link. Here, I will post the Discord link again if anybody wants to jump in. Oh, can't do it yet. I still have Red's Twitch copied. It's all good. Yeah, Buckeye, if I knew anything about advanced math or calculus, I would definitely help, but kind of gave up on math after my 1 year of college. That was just a really expensive party. I didn't really go to a whole lot of math classes in college. But I sure learned how to drink well. Could handle my liquor nowadays.
So the European Union is following suit, following behind China, following behind India, and getting into the crypto game. And going a little bit of a different route, though, at least right now, announcing instead of their own currency, that they're going to create a block-wide digital wallet for its citizens. It's sort of interesting. that basically, it does centralize the decentralized currencies, but at the same time, they are completely, adopting and adapting to it.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, they're printing fucking money out of fucking nothing anyway. So this is a logical fucking step to just, get rid of fucking cash entirely. They've been wanting to fucking do that. You get your invisible fucking credits.
Yeah, I mean,
We're living in fucking Star Wars.
we kind of been talking about that too, how the governments are going to get in on the crypto pretty soon. They're not going to let all these other people be making the money without them, you know?
Yep. They're still fucking with AMC and fucking they're throttling that. The Wall Street's fucking shutting down trading due to volatility.
Yeah.
Can't play the big boys games.
How the fuck are they still getting away with shutting down the markets like that? Because they've just keep doing it. And I mean, is it just the apps? Is it just that Robinhood or whatever?
Robinhood keeps fucking doing it, but this time it came down from Wall Street. I think it was literally everywhere that they halted trading.
Yeah. See, I haven't been in it at all, so I haven't been keeping up. I just know, whatever comes out mainstream. But just the sheer fact that they're able to shut down fucking buying and selling for certain in particular stocks is like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. You know what I mean?
And I want to talk about, some people want to suggest Elon Musk has too much control over the market, and then you go and do something like that.
Yeah, it was a really expensive party, Buckeye. My 1 year in college, I think it cost me 18 grand for that 1 year, and it was back in 2000. Only Matthews knows is an eighth, a quarter, and a half.
Amen.
Right? I know some decimal points too.
Yeah, as I was just about to say, yeah, we do know some decimals. It helped with getting into crypto.
Safe Moon, is that one of the ones you're in, Red?
I ended up seeing enough people getting into it that I decided to fucking take a chance on it. There's some interesting shit behind it. They definitely have a lot of programs and shit that they're working on, and they seem to be moving pretty fucking fast on them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I threw a little bit of money at it.
I heard Doge, they figured out a way to trade Doge now. I don't know if that was what Elon Musk was working with Doge for, but I know I've I just perused a story where they were talking about Doge being able to be traded now.
Well, they got listed on Coinbase Pro.
Oh, is that what it was?
Their site for it's like their big investor fucking app or fucking network.
You missed out on AMC. Didn't AMC hit? Isn't it right now? Isn't it hitting again right now?
I think it's actually dropped a little bit today, but
Yeah.
they're trying to pump that back up.
Ounces, yeah, that's what we were talking about, Buckeye. I'm a smoker. I'm a daily smoker. Ninja says it's okay for hedgers to drive a stock down, but when average Joes come together and raise a stock, it's illegal. Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. Can't play those games.
It's a small club. 33 million coins for Safe Moon.
I don't have quite that much. I got about half that.
NFTs are where it's at if you want to make some dough. Just to sell the fucking things. It's not like I still see absolutely no reason to collect NFTs. Like, period. I don't get it at all. It's like a baseball card to me, but it's digital. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Almost bought it at $10. Would have had 1,000 shares. Yeah, that would have been nice. I know it's hit a couple times. I know they've been trying to talk people out of buying it by talking about the the 1.5 million shares or whatever that they were planning on selling, but that already happened. They just filed it today. Like, people don't understand that meme stonks are. It's the meme that does it. It's not the actual. It's not the actual stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Well,
11 million shares.
That's what's gonna do it. That's definitely what's gonna fucking do it for Doge, and probably won't be able to fucking replicate it too fucking much, at least until the next fucking huge fucking meme comes out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. Why the fuck not invest in fucking memes? Create our own financial institution. Why the fuck not?
Is this true? Ninja Brew made $5,000 yesterday selling a fucking bonsai tree art, like a painting, like a digital painting, or was it just like a copy of an actual painting, or was it like animated or some crazy shit?
Can you print it? Do you need to buy some special ink to print that?
That's crazy though. $5,000 on an NFT. I know the people in memes, you know what I mean? Like the little girl that was standing in front of the house on fire, that girl herself sold that meme as an NFT.
Yeah, another one just sold. Charlie Bit My Finger just got fucking sold privately.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
an NFT bonsai digital. That's crazy, man. I need to get a what do they call it? A draw pad, the tablets that artists use. I'll start throwing some shit together and throwing it out there.
Digital tattoos.
Right? Straight up. I'll just redraw every tattoo that I've ever given anybody in my entire career. Like,
Do some hand turkeys.
you'll send it on Discord. The picture of the tree? Yeah, I kind of want to see it. That's craziness. People are fucking dumb.
Oh yeah. Also in our Discord, I did make up some prototype clap you dumb bastard shirts. Bring that up.
Yeah, I did see it.
Try to remember to bring that up later. But here's another plug that I definitely wanted to point out, because when Poso talks about something coming from a White House official, he's been fucking spot on for a while now. He's definitely got fucking people in there. So White House is discussing exit strategy for Dr. Fauci, following the releases of his emails too. Pretty fucking precise, pretty exact.
Yeah. It's retirement time, right? He's about that age where it's just he should just retire and fade off into the sunset, right? I think that'll probably be their play instead of him facing the music coming up.
I think that might have been the play, but I don't think that's where it's going anymore, because as we're gonna see later, man, after we get into through some of these emails, his book got pulled from Barnes and Noble and Amazon yesterday.
Really?
So yeah, I don't think it's just go to the beach, get a house next to the president in Delaware. Shit's coming down on his ass.
We'll see. That's what I'm hoping for.
Friendly reminder, I don't know how everybody's lives are going in their own little neck of the woods, but hopefully everybody's safe and you don't live in a fucking war zone. But just remember that white supremacy is the greatest threat outside your front door when you're, what you see on your nightly news and your Twitter feeds.
Yeah.
Beware the Proud Boys.
Yeah. I wonder if how many of the 120 people under the age of 18 that have died in Chicago this year to gun violence already had to do with white supremacy. I wonder.
So here we have a little bit of the Fauci leaks, if you will.
Let's get it. This is what I was waiting for. I want to see some of these.
Not even what about a week after, we watched that Ron Paul, grilling when this man said that, there was no gain of function.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right off the bat, urgent discussions about gain of function. Ignored scientists who told him China lied about the virus and data a few times. There was a couple times he ignored, people were talking about possible treatments, and he said, "Oh, too long to read."
Yeah. Yeah. I did see that the one was too long to read, so he didn't read it. It's like, okay, that's how it's gonna go, huh?
Yep.
Bro, this is crazy. I just got that picture, the bonsai tree. I don't see how that's worth $5,000 at all. And he bought it for 12 cents? Is that real life? That's crazy. Somebody paid for that? Oh, 0.12 Ethereum coins. Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. That's a little different. That's fucking nuts, dude. $5,000 for an NFT. It was just a cartoon bonsai tree. It didn't even look that good. Like it wasn't a good rendition of a bonsai tree. Oh man, I'm in the wrong racket. I need to start fucking bootlegging digital art,
Start copying some Banksies.
right? He'll never do it.
No, hell no, he won't. He shouldn't.
It went for $3,400. That's crazy. Hey, Magusta, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. True.
Oh shit. We were talking about Iran's warships heading across the Atlantic, and the left is talking about the Pentagon is warning Iran against provocative act. Man, the world sure is safe again. Safe as
Safe.
fuck.
Super safe. Ultra safe. Ever since January 7th. Ultra safe.
We're so safe that here in Chicago, instead of goodbye, we're saying be safe twice.
Mm-hmm.
We got to two-time it.
Two times.
Because the world is so fucking safe right now.
Be safe. I mean it. Yeah, that's crazy, Ninja. Fucking $3,400. All right, what's up with these emails? Experiments performed before the gain of function pause, but have since been reviewed and approved by NIH. Not sure what that means, since Emily is sure that no coronavirus work has gone through the P3 framework. She would try to determine if we have any distant ties to this work abroad. Oh, so they're gonna figure out if there's any ties. See, this is the thing that gets me right here, because the gain of function research, it was stopped under Obama, right? In what, 2014? That's when they actually put a halt on gain of function research. And then very early on in Trump's presidency, it started again, which is, one of the things I don't agree with Trump on. It's not everything for peoples out there. But if it was approved by the NIH after it was reinstated, then the P3 framework is the, I guess, like the peer review section where it's open to other scientists, where they actually post the data, and nothing was posted in that data. But it may be because that EcoHealth approved it on their own. You know what I mean? They did it in a private capacity instead of through the NIH P3. That's what I've been reading lately, which would make sense as to why there was no why no work was entered into the P3 framework. But right here at the end of this email, it says she will try to determine if we have any distant ties to this work abroad. If they did have any ties to this work abroad, it would be in the P3 framework. It would already be there. If there's nothing there, that says that there is no work abroad in this field. So why would you have to check if the framework is that you reported here?
We're making sure that the official story is nothing, but we're gonna take a little peek to make sure that our asses are clean
Yeah, we'll just double check.
privately amongst ourselves.
Yeah,
So,
this is the email from the physicist that I don't know if you want to just go through a synopsis of it or if you want to read it off.
read a little bit of it. I'm a physicist and I have been modeling this outbreak since January. My panic started minutes after I learned 5 million people left Wuhan around January 22nd, a few days before the CCP started locking the country down. The 5 million scattered to 13,000 plus cities in China to visit family and friends for the Lunar Festival. I've been communicating with quite a few people around the world, including an NYU epidemiologist. We've both been warning our families to mostly deaf ears since January. It's been frustrating and exhausting, but finally, most are as prepared as possible for what's about to happen. I have lots of information about China due to my business, scientific friendship, and other ties with many there, including immunologists, virologists at top tier institutions. I'm willing to share with you everything I know, like I know, or everything I think I know or seriously suspect. Here are a few examples. I'm confident that China stopped counting the dead COVID-19 infected bodies since January 7th, 2020. They've been adding fabricated data daily to save face the world and their own people an impressive flattering of China outbreak curve. It's easy to prove this via data analysis because, for example, improbable coincidences occurred in much of the data. My suspicions were eventually confirmed by at least two of my sources in China, which are redacted. The data posted by China is not only garbage, it has misled the world into a false sense of security. Death rate, age versus death, other things. That is, if people analyze the world's data, including and continues. Very powerful email, very, you know, I guess, possibly another expert in his field, but another qualified, person to fucking, talk to fucking Fauci about this, had multiple fucking concerns and, something else that was probably either too long to read or didn't fit the narrative. So this one didn't make it to the trash file, but it certainly didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and this is the same physicist that said that he had studied the actual genome of the virus, and it doesn't appear to be consistent with the natural evolution. I don't quote me on that, but that's what I believe how he worded it. And he said that they were going to do some they're going to have a conference call and they were going to do further research and they should have answers, but then the WHO did the investigation and that came out afterwards, and that basically was the the releasing of what they claim to be the genome investigation. But I don't know.
It's weird, man. You could sort of, make the case that some of our COVID numbers over here were inflated due to,
For sure.
people dying of other things and just having COVID in their systems, might even just be a little tiny bit because, the way that they tested amplified and multiplied, the COVID when they found it. So if you have the tiniest bit in you, it's just, oh, it's full blown fucking COVID. But yeah, so we're over here more or less inflating our numbers for reasons. And
Yeah,
over here,
Didn't they
they're
change something right when Biden got inaugurated too? Didn't they change something with the reporting for pneumonia and flu cases as well? Like, didn't they actually change the recording process of those? I I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look into that. But I'm pretty sure once Biden got inaugurated, once he actually became president, they changed the way that the CDC records flu and pneumonia, you know, and that would equate to them not counting them into the COVID numbers any longer.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up. We have to jot that one down and
Yeah,
look that up and
I
bring
think
that
we
for
actually
next week.
covered it in one of our streams. I think when they I think we did cover it once he was elected when we were talking about how they weren't showing the tracker on the side of CNN anymore.
Yeah.
I have to go back and look at the VOD and see.
But I mean, the main thing here, though, I mean, with this email is that this guy is going straight out and fucking saying it. You know that they're hiding something. They're fucking lying.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we
We don't.
definitely know that China covered up their numbers and covered up the entire thing. You know what I mean? First, China told us that it wasn't communicable human to human. Remember?
I do
Which would,
absolutely.
I mean, which would be the natural step for a naturally occurring virus. Originally, whoever it infected would not pass it on; it would just infect them. You know what I mean? There's some other bat-borne viruses where like people will go into caves and come into contact with whatever the bat shit or whatever is in the cave, and then they start like bleeding out of their eyes and nose and shit like that. You know what I mean? But it wouldn't be contagious. That's the whole part that's like missing. It's like the Bigfoot of this coronavirus. You know what I mean? The missing link.
And I highly doubt we'll get one 2 years after the fucking fact. You know,
Right. Exactly.
there's zero chance of truth ever fucking coming out. It's all just it's a show. It's a fucking big performance.
The world is a stage, right?
It's so I don't know, man. I wonder like what possibly could come out. You know, do you think even if they do end up sending the World Health Organization back in there, you think that they find fucking anything, or is it just going to be, you know,
No, I
a
think
couple of fucking email leaks?
no, I don't think the WHO is going to do anything. I don't think they're going to get to
Yeah,
anything at all.
I don't see it either, man. So it's sort of interesting though that that the narrative is shifting though, and you know either either something's coming, and they're just trying to wiggle their way ahead of it, or I don't know, they're trying to yeah, I mean, I really don't understand because like almost every major media fucking publication is completely shifted, and doing opinion pieces on why this needs to be looked into, all the way to you know
Yep,
everybody's addressing it.
yep. And
And again,
that
the
Daszak
book.
guy, the Echo Health guy, he's the fucking whatever the president of Echo Health, and he was the one that was leading the WHO investigation, the first one that came up with nothing. That said 4 pages about Wuhan in a 35 fucking page report. You know what I mean? Actually, it was more than that. It was like 100 and something. But yeah, that Daszak guy, Daszak,
Mhm.
Daszak, whatever. He was the guy that was running the WHO investigation. Like, imagine that. You know what I mean? Imagine that. He's the guy that Fauci gave the 600 grand to, the Echo Health company in China. You know what I mean? For whatever they were doing in China. That wasn't gain of function research, supposedly.
This is so this next email is one that really struck me because I remember when the stories in this email started leaking, and it had me, you know, scratching my head a little bit as well. When they're just trying to tell you that, oh yeah, this it came from a bat.
Yeah.
I think somebody ate a bat. I think that was like the
Yeah.
earliest fucking
Bad
things.
soup, I think, wasn't it?
So Cornell Medical School
Yeah, let's
graduate.
let's not forget that China is the one that told us that it came from a wet market. So anybody that just believes that it came from a wet market, you're believing the narrative of the Chinese Communist Party. You know what I mean? Should probably take that with a grain of salt to begin with.
So this gentleman here's emailing Fauci, basically saying that he became alarmed at the news that the Chinese government was sterilizing their paper money from the Hubei province. Think that there's a possibility that the virus was released from a lab in Wuhan, the biotech area of China.
This is February. This is when this email was sent.
It was all right there from the fucking very beginning. None of this stuff, is fucking new or fringe or just conspiracy theory. As soon as this shit started happening, all these same questions were still there. They've never been addressed. They've never been answered. People are just opening their eyes now because I guess it's taken them a lot. They've had enough time to think about it, sitting in their home prisons for the year. They know that we have, I guess a little bit of critical thinking skills in some people for the first time in a while. But it's all the same fucking questions. So the shit we've been saying over a fucking year, 2
For
years
a
now.
year now, yeah. For a fucking year. Over a year. It's crazy. Two fucking South Side scumbags from fucking Chicago. We was so far ahead of this. So far ahead of a lot going on in the last year or so.
This one is this is a great email from the desks of Tony. February 5th, 2020. Sylvia, masks are really for infected people to prevent them from spreading infection to people who are not infected, rather than protecting uninfected people
Well, would you
from
look at
acquiring
that?
infection. Yes. The typical mask that you buy in the drugstore is not really effective in keeping out virus, which is small enough to pass through the material. It might, however, provide some slight benefit and keep out gross particles or gross droplets if someone coughs or sneezes on you. I do not recommend that you wear a mask, particularly since you are going to be in a very low risk location. She was asking about while she was going on vacation. So yeah, telling this woman that he would not recommend her to wear a mask. February 5th, 2020. The masks don't protect you. The masks are just a preventative thing to keep people who are sick from getting cough and sneeze particles on other people or in the air. It's the only
Yep.
purpose because some people simply can't be trusted to just cover their fucking mouths. But all again, I know I've been saying it. I've heard it from you. I've heard it from a lot of fucking people who have been, looked at like they're fucking crazy or selfish or whatever the fuck it is. But even Saint Fauci of the science ideology, way back a year ago,
Yep.
February, the masks don't do nothing. We didn't our COVID-19 didn't become a variant. It didn't shift. It was the same fucking thing the whole time. And this expert on fucking virology, is telling you the truth here. This is finally some truth from
Yep.
this fucking guy.
And just like he says right there, he spells it out as clear as day. The typical mask you buy in the drugstore is not really effective in keeping out virus, which is small enough to pass through the material.
Who'da fucking thunk it?
Just anybody that can read. Anybody that understands what a micron is, I guess.
A lot of people with blind followers with a lot of faith in the science ideology
Mm-hmm.
simply don't science much.
I can't even tell you how much I've been shit on because I keep saying fuck masks. I'm not going to wear them. It's like, go ahead, dude. You have every right to your opinion. I have every right to tell you to fuck off. Period. It's not about protecting uninfected people from acquiring infection. That is not what a mask is for. In this case, from Fauci's own emails.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Fauci.
Right? As a matter of fact, I have said it myself. Sharon says, just like Rand Paul said. Yep.
Let's see what we got here from our.
Look around the various hate crimes against Asian Americans and Jewish Americans. Hate that never goes away. Hate only hides. Jesse, I think I mentioned this to you. I thought after you guys pushed through with Dr. King, the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act, I thought we moved. What I didn't realize, I thought we had made enormous progress. And I was so proud to be a little part of it. But you know what, Rev? I didn't realize hate's never defeated. It only hides. It hides. And give them a little bit of oxygen.
Sounds like a forever war.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
The enemy cannot be defeated. We must remain diligent.
Never went away.
Can you turn it up at all?
We must not give hate a safe harbor.
Well, it's just the volume on this, I guess.
I said in my address to the joint session of Congress, according to the intelligence community, terrorism from white supremacy is the most lethal threat to the homeland today. Not ISIS, not Al Qaeda, white supremacists. That's not me. That's the intelligence community under both Trump and under my administration.
Well, you don't say.
Oof. It's a bit fucking rough, man. It's a bit fucking rough. I've seen a lot of acts of, violence committed against Asian people all over the fucking internet recently.
Yeah, against Jewish people too.
Yeah. I had not seen, none of them looked like that Proud Boys guy. Nothing. I didn't see any "Don't Tread on Me" shirts on these fucking people.
Yeah, no Gadsden flags. No, none of that.
No Calvaries.
Man.
The fucking narrative, man, is at least in that regard is cooking back up because things aren't going so well for Joe's America or the world, for Joe's world. So they gotta cook up, their 9/11, their fucking bizarro 9/11. They gotta try to reignite the fire that they had, in this election because people are losing their fucking faith in this guy. The buyer's remorse is fucking real and growing by the fucking day.
For sure. Definitely. I think anybody that voted for Biden at this point has to be rethinking their thought process. I mean, if you're not, then fuck, you're living a pretty good life, apparently, huh?
Yeah. One of those rich that you're, one of those gracious rich that are taxing themselves, huh? Yeah. Even though that today Biden announced that his tax on the rich isn't quite going to be so high. Tax the rich? Come on, man, I'm rich.
Right?
What the hell?
It's like I stayed out of the 1% on purpose. I'm the 2%.
Like milk. I like milk. It's in ice cream. I have chocolate chips. Hey, Jill, can I get ice cream? Come on, man.
It's one of my favorite things to do. That's where the kids are.
Oh fuck. And he went there too, man. He went there in one of his speeches last week. He just stopped what he was talking about and
Oh
said, "Hey,
yeah.
make sure you get those two girls some ice cream." What the fuck, Joe? He just could not stay focused. There's two little kids. He's just
I'm gonna have to
sure
pull
could
up
go
a
for some
video.
ice. I could go for some ice cream right now. Fucking Joe, man.
I'm gonna have to play a video. I don't know if you've seen it from the speech right after that one that he gave, where he was talking about. I don't know who he was talking. There was a little girl in the crowd, and it was pretty disgusting what he said. Actually, knowing his background with being creepy Uncle Joe Sniffy McGee.
Yeah. Well, what do you smell like? Got some more email here. I meant to say that most transmissions occur from someone who is symptomatic, not asymptomatic. I'm really tired, not much sleep these days. Best, Tony.
Say that most transmission occurs from someone who is symptomatic.
Not asymptomatic. So asymptomatic spread was a lie. This is February 4th, 2020.
Yeah, I didn't read that one. That's interesting.
When did he start saying that it was an asymptomatic spread? We got to try to find a date on that one.
Even I don't think they say now even that you could be asymptomatic. I don't think they've ever fucking changed that part, saying that asymptomatic carriers can still spread. You know what I mean? They said even people with the virus, like people that have gotten the vaccine, can maybe still spread it.
Yeah. Everything's on the table. They're basically in my opinion, they're at the exact same point where they were at the beginning of this fucking thing. They know nothing. Nothing works. They know nothing, and I know as much as fucking they do.
Just make sure you get the vaccine.
Cover your fucking mouth, wash your hands. If you're in a fucking really confined, if you're in a fucking in a tiny space with 100 fucking people crammed in there like a fucking clown car, maybe cover your fucking face. But otherwise, don't live in fucking fear and stay fucking clean. Maybe spray some Lysol around the fucking house once every couple fucking days. You're good to fucking go.
It's fucking nuts, man.
He's definitely got a lot of fucking splaining to do.
Obama's former health advisor.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. To Tony. Ari is pestering me endlessly. What is your latest update and assessment on coronavirus? I'm still having a hard time seeing this as serious as everyone else. Am I blind? Yes, very transmissible, but low mortality like flu. In many ways, the elderly, those with I'm reading it on a smaller screen.
Comorbidities.
And total impact is likely to be less than flu. Also, travel restrictions are delaying but not stopping the virus. Am I missing something big or small? Damn, Obama had a good guy on his had a good health advisor.
Yeah.
He had one hell of a fucking health advisor. Because this guy spitting straight fucking fact here. And this was February 25th. Says, oh, this thing is very transmissible, but low mortality, like flu in many ways.
Yeah, and travel restrictions are not stopping it.
And later on, too, it's going to go into what was the other point? Just lost my train of thought on it. There is another one that really blew my mind, and it's going to be coming up.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll remind you when you see it coming up here.
Ari is calling me frequently. The virus has adapted itself very well to humans with considerable community transmission. Now in other countries such as South Korea, Japan, Iran, Italy, if it continues to spread via multiple generations of human-human transmission, will not be able to avoid considerable amounts of infections and spread in the USA. Seasonal influenza has a mortality of 0.1%. The calculated mortality of COVID-19 is to about 2.5%. It is probably lower since the denominator is likely larger than we appreciate due to asymptomatic infections. Even if the mortality goes down to 0.5%, that is still the equivalent to a pandemic influenza of 1957 or 1968. In other words, it could be worse than you think, Tony. So that was his response to that last email.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was worse than the guy thought originally. But
So
even 2.5% mortality rate is not even close to what it fucking actually
yeah,
is.
it says even if it goes down to 0.5%, it wasn't even that. It was the seasonal influenza, 0.1%. That's fucking crazy. What a fucking expert, man. It seems like Obama's former health advisor, Emmanuel Ezekiel, should have had the fucking job over Fauci.
It's probably a pretty good idea.
Shit. Hopefully, when Fauci gets the axe, this guy's on the docket.
And it just says, this lady today asked me if I was vaxxed. I asked her if she did anal. She got pissed. I said, oh, I thought we were asking questions that's none of your business. Yeah, that about sums it up. You can't just go around asking people if they've done anal, Ninja.
Oh, it's the same one. Yes, these two. We got here. Oh, it's a whole thread here.
Looks like Sharon liked that one. We think this is
That's the sterilizing money one. And here's one here that so stories are coming out basically, well, not really stories are coming out, but people were saying that all last year, people were saying that, Fauci was, having a hard time working under Trump.
Yeah.
That, he was, that, more lives would have been saved if it wasn't for Trump getting in the way and yada, yada, yada. And here we have emails coming from Tony, from Mr. Fauci, saying that that wasn't the case at all. It's not true. He was never silenced or censored by the Orange Man. I was not muzzled. However, I was to go on Sunday talk shows, 5 of them. The vice president's office then took over control of the situation and told me to stand down, not to do the shows. So that's it. Told him not to do daytime talk shows. But he's sure fucking doing them now.
Yeah. Not many good questions, though. I mean, since his emails came out, I think he's done 2 interviews, and they're real softball interviews.
Another one. This story is not true. I am not being muzzled or censored. Repeating it. So we could definitely lay that one to fucking rest. And soon after all these emails get leaked, China, always on the defensive, definitely acting like an innocent party with absolutely nothing to hide.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I saw this one. This story broke. Fucking nuts. Maybe they know that there's something to find still, huh?
Like, way to just go to fucking 10,
Yep. Not just armed conflict, but country must prepare for nuclear war.
Yeah. Fuck trade sanctions, fuck. We're not going to send you guys. We're going to hold the next shipment of Jordans. We're raising the prices on Walmart microwaves. None of that. We're
Straight
going to
to
end this
nuclear
shit.
war.
Yeah, we're going to destroy all the evidence. All of it.
Of everything. From zero to nuclear real quick.
And yesterday, well, this was 2 days ago, zero questions. No, yes, it was yesterday. It's only the 3rd still. Zero questions about the Fauci emails. And she ended up saying something later that basically she's not going to address it, that there's no point in addressing, the current events.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even enjoy watching it anymore. She's just word salads, dances around actual issues. Where's this one saying?
Where are we at? Scroll up on my phone. So I wanted to convey the idea that had the regard to the coronavirus. It seems to me that trying to contain the virus as we are doing it at present will be futile. Since the virus can be present for many days without a person having any symptoms, you would literally need to test everyone at the same time to determine who has it, an impossible task. This is the one that I was thinking of. So yeah, this is from March 14th, and it's basically going to talk about that we should, if we are going to quarantine anybody, it should be the people that are the most fucking vulnerable and, the sick, the elderly. Focus on fucking keeping them fucking safe,
Yeah.
isolate them, mask them, and everybody else goes about their fucking lives. And if that was the case, if we stretched out all the hospital beds and all that shit, for those people, instead of stuffing them into fucking retirement homes and fucking nursing homes like fucking New York, probably could have saved some of their fucking lives.
Right. That's what I've been saying the entire time. When people ask, what should have been done different, in my opinion, you don't fucking quarantine people that aren't sick. You quarantine the at-risk demographic, like the old people that it's killing. You quarantine them, or immunosuppressed. You quarantine them,
Yeah.
and that doesn't mean like fucking quarantine them, like fucking weld them into their apartments like the Chinese were doing.
Or
But
in New
those are the
York.
ones you focus on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people that are at risk, at the highest risk of this actually affecting, downstream.
So this email continues. I have a different thought. We know that the virus is especially dangerous for the old and or immunosuppressed. In my opinion, we should be focusing all of our efforts on keeping that group from becoming infected. To do so, that group should be encouraged to self-isolate, to limit their social interactions with other groups. Other groups should be instructed to avoid them. Sort of a reverse quarantine idea. Testing would be done within those groups, and all groups would be encouraged to continue the hygienic suggestions that they've already received. Makes some fucking sense. Seems
Yeah.
pretty fucking reasonable.
Based.
Yeah. Shit. And I wouldn't be surprised again if this was the too long to read emails.
Yeah, this definitely looks like one of those. It's 4 paragraphs on the opening page. He says, in sum, we need to
Hold
isolate
on. There's a little bit. They're quarantining otherwise healthy people outside of those groups who finally demonstrate symptoms like the NBA players is ridiculous. They are likely to get the sniffles and have already spread the virus. As long as they are not spreading it to the endangered group, we should not worry about it. In sum, we need to isolate the vulnerable and realize that the mortality rate for people outside of the group is likely lower than the flu. Of course, while this occurs, we are working on finding treatments and vaccines, but sending home workers who have next to no likelihood of being significantly impacted by this virus is ridiculous. The virus hits hardest the old and infirm, two groups that are most likely not to even be in the workforce. To me, the solution is a lot simpler than what is being tried right now and is much more likely of success. To everyone besides the endangered groups, this virus is literally less dangerous than the flu. There is no reason that anyone outside of the endangered group should have any concern at all. We need to make that clear. Please let me know what you think. And no, they went the other route and created a fucking panic. Toilet paper fucking shortage, Lysol fucking shortage.
I never understood the toilet paper part. Like, the coronavirus, one of the symptoms was never diarrhea.
It was an end of the fucking world thing where, we're first world here in America. Toilet paper is a luxury and these people are thinking ahead. Like when I was a young man in school and you get asked a question like, what's your favorite invention of all time? Kids would say all sorts of, cars and guitars. I said indoor plumbing. Because I appreciate a fucking toilet. They're still shitting in holes in China today. It ain't quite shitting on the street, but they are literally, it's a fucking hole in the fucking ground. Like, no, the toilet and toilet paper, this whole setup that we got over here it's immaculate. And end game scenario, I for sure will be stockpiling some sort of tissue paper for the long haul because it's a luxury, man. It separates us from the fucking animals.
It's one of those things you're not going to give up. I read.
No, I mean, I certainly didn't hoard it, but I understood the logic behind, some of these, like, oh shit, man, I'm going to need this. This is something that, you need, you absolutely fucking need, all I'm saying is I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's one way of looking at it. I was like, what the fuck does this have to do with toilet paper? Like, nothing about this virus says people need more toilet paper. I didn't understand it. You know what I mean? Sharon says, "Red, you crack her up." And then just says, "And at least 2-ply."
Yeah, for sure. Scott's ain't bad. So here we have again, man. Biden heading home on the weekends. His 12th trip to Delaware in 4 months. Come on, man. I gotta go home. I don't live here.
Isn't there work to do? What's he doing? Fucking jet setting all around fucking the East Coast. 12th trip. So 3 weekends a month, he goes home.
Put this chick on blast, this TikTok girl who's making huge amounts of money on TikTok for saying things like tax the rich.
Yeah.
Saying things like okay boomer.
Okay boomer. That's the chick.
And yeah, she bought a $2 million apartment and basically started explained herself by saying that I think when people mean like tax the rich, I think at the end of the day, what they do mean is like billionaires and people who have insane, unfathomable amounts of wealth. $2 million apartment sounds pretty fucking insane and unimaginable to me.
Yeah.
To me.
Well, I mean, so how much would it take for a down payment? What do they put up? 5%, 10%? I don't know.
Yeah, it depends. In New York, fuck, who knows? Probably 10.
That's what I mean. I've never bought an apartment in New York City, but I think it's like 5% down, 10% down. So
in New York, I'm gonna go with fucking closer to 10 for sure. So yeah, I want to do I didn't hashtag it, but I wanted to replace the OK Boomer with the OK Bernie hashtag. Right. Anytime a socialist grows up, especially unexpectedly.
Yeah. Anytime a socialist tells me what to do with my money when they have luxuries, that's going to be the response. Okay, Bernie.
Everybody's, everybody wants to rebel, when they're young. Everybody's a socialist in their younger years, but sooner or later you grow up, and
Right? It goes from anarchist to socialist to usually center, and then you either stay there or you keep going to the right as you get older. I think I legitimately, I don't know if it's backed up by fucking data, but it seems like the older you get, the more conservative you get. In my personal, lived experience, that's one of those phrases they like to use, right?
so more campaign promises, and more shit that this guy could be doing when he's not taking trips to fucking Delaware. It's Jill's 70th birthday. That's why the beach house.
Weekend at Biden's.
Well, while he's having a good time for Jill's 70th birthday, he's phoning lawmakers not to expect much on reparation legislation. Sorry, guys. Come on, man. They're studying gender in Pakistan. I don't have money for everybody. Shit.
Right? He's like, man, I just gave a speech and said white supremacy's the number one threat. What more do you want from me?
So, no, don't expect reparations. Not from this fucking guy, at least. Because, Hamas needs us. And
Yeah.
Israel, too. Business is booming. We just, we just don't need to bail out Cadillac right now.
Business is definitely booming.
Speaking of, this time, though, Iran resupplying Hamas with thousands of new missiles. The re-up.
Yeah, we just gave fucking Palestine a ton of extra money. I'm pretty sure that they promised not to use them for rockets or not let Hamas touch it, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure that they testified in front of Congress that they know that any money that gets sent to Palestine is used for or used by Hamas.
Xi calls for a more lovable image for China. He's trying to rebrand the party to make them I guess to get ahead of what's coming with this COVID lab leak theory.
Yeah.
So maybe they could use Winnie the Pooh. People seem to like Winnie the Pooh. I don't know.
Well, I think this has something to do with what do they call them? There's a group in China called the War Wolves or the Wolves of some. Let me Google it real quick. It's like here, how we have the War Hawks. I think they're called War Wolves.
Just June 2nd, they're all of a sudden they're worried about how they look to the world. They just talked about nuking the fucking world a day before that. You guys question us about what happened over here. We're gonna blow all this shit up. Hey, we're worried. We're worried we look a little bit too mean. We're trying to look a little bit friendlier. We're gonna put some smiley faces on our nukes.
Oh, it's called the Wolf Warriors. That's what it's called in China. So there's, the warrior, the individual wolf warrior. I think that's what Xi Jinping was talking about in that.
Just looking at CNN right now, several studies suggest COVID vaccines may not have worked as well for millions with weakened immune systems.
Oh, would you
shit.
Imagine that?
What did it do to those poor folks? Now let's get down to the fucking business. What did you do to these fucking people?
It didn't work as well, meaning
NIH to study how to help people whose COVID-19 vaccinations might not have worked well.
What does that mean?
What the fuck
worked well?
What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? This is fucking scary shit. Wow. Live on CNN right now. Beating around the bush for sure. They don't want to fucking say it, but some people drink the fucking Kool-Aid. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel bad. I feel bad for a lot of fucking people out there, but at the same time, you're a conscientious fucking adult, and you consented. I
Right.
just hope you didn't fucking. I just hope people, the kids, fucking
National
innocent fucking
Institute of
kids.
Health to study how to help people whose COVID-19 vaccinations might not have worked well.
Yeah.
Are they talking about the heart issues that it was causing in men 16 or 19 to 30? Are they talking about what are they talking about? Why would you need to help people if their vaccinations didn't work well besides giving them a
Give 'em a
different
booster.
vaccination?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
It's almost inferring
They're
further disorders, you know what I
they're
mean?
getting ahead of something. Yeah. Yeah, as they're giving giving these vaccines globally around the world.
Oh yeah,
They're
by
not
the way,
working well over here.
we have
80
about 80
million
million
doses.
extra doses if you guys want any. I'm pretty sure everybody here's about vaccinated up. If they haven't taken it yet, they're probably not going to get it. So yeah, we're just going to start feeding the world with vaccines now.
So yeah, I mean, and here we have yesterday Fauci's book pulled from Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So for the people on, the spin doctors and the people that do fall for the spin doctors, want to say that it's nothing. Well, Bezos is pretty fucking plugged, and if he's pulling the fucking book, something's fucking coming.
Yeah, it definitely got pulled. Somebody looked at it. Somebody that I was watching today looked it up, and it's only like anti-Fauci books that are on Amazon now.
No, I looked. I checked it immediately.
Sharon says my stepfather died last Friday, a month after both vaccines. He was hallucinating toward the end.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that too. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, was it COVID after both vaccines?
Yeah, this sort of what they said right now is like the people that were with weakened immune systems aren't reacting right to the vaccine. Those are the people that were that they made get them first. So if we're seeing problems from that, it's going to take a couple months, and then we're going to start seeing the fucking problems in everybody. That's one fucking side of it. But two, it's like is literally the most vulnerable. Like this is terrible. That they're literally probably shouldn't be taking an experimental vaccine when you fucking think about it, because they're the most fucking vulnerable. Again,
Right.
Oh wow, I was not expecting that to come out today.
Yeah, I don't even understand what that means. What does may not have worked well? Like, why would you say worked well? You mean worked? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is there the need for may not and worked well? I don't understand it. Is that just the soft frilly exterior for the fucking hard punch in the center?
Definitely gonna keep my eye on that.
Sharon said, nope. The doctor said he didn't have an idea what was wrong with him. So the doctor said he had no idea. Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely gotta second guess some of these strategies put in place by our supposed experts and their followers, because
All right, exactly, Ninja. It works 67% of the time, every time. You're gonna have to come back in for another blood test just to see if what we put in your blood actually worked.
fuck. That's why China was checking people up their butt. They're going to where the good readings were. They knew what was good.
They knew where to find the live fucking virus in your butt.
Did you see this one that the Pentagon has approved 2 drone models made for government use? Of course, by China, China's top manufacturer. Do we no longer have the technology or the companies to make our own fucking drones here?
I did not see that.
Like how is that not bad? How the fuck are we having Chinese anything in our fucking military? Let alone the entire fucking drone.
Sharon says yes. He said, I feel good enough in my skin to say I haven't any idea what is wrong with him, but he is a sick man. That's crazy. That's wild. I'm just doctors, man. I have a love-hate relationship with the medical field, I guess.
The quackery?
Yeah, sometimes the quackery for sure. Here it's just so fucking weird, man. Like our healthcare system's all fucked up. Doctors don't even try to treat people anymore. They treat symptoms and they treat fucking side effects of what, underlying issues. They don't give a fuck to solve the underlying issue. They just want to keep you coming back spending fucking money.
Keep them fucking
that
bill's on auto pay.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you're gonna have to come back next week, a month after that for a checkup, and you're gonna have to use this fucking $300 medication because it's not approved by your insurance company yet. But the company that makes the medication pays me directly, so you're gonna have to use it.
Keep the pen.
Yeah, exactly. Keep the pen. Here's some fucking coloring book for your kid to wait in the waiting room.
So after, again, following the lab leak or the emails, China goes on the offensive again, says that U.S. biolab sites are also located where dangerous diseases such as SARS, EB, Ebola, and the Zika virus were first identified. Straight pointing the fucking finger right back. It's fucking great. I mean, if there is some fucking truth to it, let the fucking truth come out. Let it all come to the fucking light. And
yeah, this isn't the first time China tried to spin it on us too. Didn't they say something like the fucking food shipments that we were sending all over the world?
Yeah. Well, let's see the facts, dude. Let's see everything. Lay it all on I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. And we could finally maybe move forward as a fucking species,
Right.
If all the bullshit's on the fucking table, we all just say, hey, fuck it. We're all going to stop trying to bullshit each other.
Yeah, exactly. That was my whole point. That's what I told our fucking super lefty friend. Like we were talking about the response to COVID and how I agreed with him that Trump did a bad job in response to COVID. But he asked me what I think should have done different or what could have been done different, because I asked him the same thing and his answer was fucking shit. But I said, tell the truth immediately. You know what I mean? Yep. Tell everything you know at the time you know it. That's what you do. You inform the fucking populace with the truth so that they have enough information to make up their own goddamn minds. Because that's how we live here. But we don't get that. We never have gotten that, I don't think.
We got Orange Man's version of the truth, which was immediately fucking, poo-pooed by the left because everybody has their own version of the fucking truth.
Right.
They had their own agenda to go along, to usher in along with this pandemic, ride the coattails of this pandemic.
And then just says they're assholes. After my dad had a stroke, they kept telling him it was his fault for smoking.
Yeah, I have an interesting or a sort of a similar situation regarding my grandmother. She had problems with her liver, and I never seen her drink a day in my fucking life. She definitely was not a fucking alcoholic. And her liver went bad, and the doctors, all they can do is tell her that she was an alcoholic her whole life, which is absolutely not the case.
Yeah, man. I don't know. The medical profession in America.
It's better than everywhere else still, though.
Yeah,
still better than everywhere else.
That's why I said fucking love-hate relationship. You know what I mean? It's yeah. It is pretty fucked. I mean, obviously, fucking we pay in our healthcare costs for this country. We pay for like a vast majority of the R&D for the entire world. You know what I mean? How many breakthroughs have come out of American medical research and development? It's like you can't even count them. There's so many. You know what I mean? So obviously, like you said, it's the best as far as, you know, innovation and shit like that. But the connection that they just, I don't know, like they failed to build connections with their clients, I guess you'd say in this case.
And it isn't going to get better when you're fucking meeting doctors by Zoom or just seeing when your grandkids are seeing the AI doctor. It's not going to get any better. The socialist artificial intelligence doctor.
Yeah, and it just said he never one mentioned it could have been from diet or genetics. I am medical profession challenged. I've been challenging the medical professions as of late. Yeah, it's the facilities that make doctors. I mean, it's a lot of things that make doctors that way. You know what I mean? Every doctor's different. I'm sure there are some doctors out there that actually build one-on-one connections with the people that come see them. But with the way the insurances are set up and the way that the fucking doctors that are covered by your insurance rotate depending on what's the cheapest fucking plan available when your boss is out price shopping, you know what I mean? So many things factor into that. It's really shitty the way we do things. We do need to reform our medical fucking system here in general, healthcare.
Is this racism?
Black entrepreneurs don't succeed like whites because they don't know how to find lawyers and accountants. Yeah, that sounds like racism.
Again, with just like I said, people of color don't know how to use the internet. So not only that, I guess they don't know how to use the phone book either.
They don't know how to find lawyers and accountants.
Does this tie into the numbers of people of color in the jails as well? Is just that they couldn't find lawyers, so that's why we're not going to lock them up anymore, because they don't know how to find lawyers, man. We're just going to let them out. We're just going to let them go.
Yeah, we figured out the problem, guys.
AOC thinks she figured out the problem. So build less jails, there'll be less prisoners.
Yeah, fuck AOC. You see AOC put out a fucking tweet of her grandmother's house in Puerto Rico still all fucked up from the fucking hurricane?
Yeah.
It's like, AOC, you make like probably upwards of fucking $200,000 a year. You could afford to fix your grandmother's fucking house in Puerto Rico. What's the issue here? Do we need to start a GoFundMe to repair AOC's fucking abuela's house in Puerto Rico? Is that what we need to do? That would actually be poetic.
You want to get that fucking going? That's not a terrible idea. We'll sell the clap you dumb bastard shirts. All proceeds go towards the AOC's beliefs.
That could be good. That could actually work. We should probably look into that.
Get the ball rolling on this, yeah, for sure.
Right? Start a give send go for AOC's grandma's house in Puerto Rico by selling "Clap You Dumb Bastard" t-shirts.
Try our hand at a little bit of fundraising.
Shit,
that's our grandma now,
right? Told AOC she should sell her Tesla for grandma. Yeah, it's like a $70,000 Tesla. I don't get it. Like the fucking nerve of some people. That would be like Jeff Bezos, visiting his brother and taking a picture of his garage with a fucking crushed in roof. Like, oh my God, look at the damage. Like bruh. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Little mama grifting for Grifting for Granny. Yeah, I saw that tweet and I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Wasn't that a long time ago now that hurricane went through Puerto Rico?" AOC doesn't give a fuck about her.
Honestly, it happened so long ago that I thought her crib got destroyed again. I was like, didn't she just get a new crib? Like, it happened again? You got to get grandma off that rock.
Right?
Get her to some dry land.
Right? She's an American citizen. Just fly around over to New York. It's probably not safe enough for grandma to live in New York by herself. Yeah, she could write a children's book and use the profits, right? But yeah, what's the salary for a U.S. Congresswoman? Isn't it like 175 a year? I'm sure she's making plenty of money on the side from fucking everything else. You know, man. Her fucking Among Us Twitch streams probably make 40 or 50 grand a year.
Yeah, she's probably making more money outside of government.
For real. It's like, why would you post your own L like that? You know what I mean? Are they really that like tone deaf? They don't see that? The left, I mean, in this case? That's pretty tone deaf. You know what I mean? I make more than $250,000 a year. My grandma's fucking roof caved in a year and a half ago. She's working on it. I send her buckets. I sent her a tarp. There you go. The New World Disorder, little mama says.
What else? Here in Portland, the legacy media is finally starting to switch the narrative, going from, mostly peaceful riots to how depolicing in Portland has harmed minority communities.
Oh, would you look at that?
And it's just the start. It is just the start, because sooner or later, the idea will be dumped. Their protection is going to be fucking dropped.
That's crazy. It only took them a year to report on the violence that has sprung up on the West Coast, huh?
We'll see. We'll see how far they're going to push their army of black coats.
Yeah. It's not what is it? Brown red. Now it's red brown. Is that what it was? Where they said from socialist to communist was brown to red, but now it's green to red. Brown to green. The socialists turn into green communists now.
Fucking saw this phone. I was like, damn, those are some big lenses. I was like, oh, it's Huawei. The better to spy on you, my dear.
Right. Little mama says hashtag burn Portland already. They're trying. They've been trying for over a year now.
Get a little Tucker going here.
Let's do it.
Fraudulence of Tony Fauci is obvious now, and it's widely acknowledged, but it was not always obvious. In March of last year, we interviewed Fauci on this show. We treated him with respect. We took his answers seriously. We're Americans, so we assumed the man in charge of protecting the U.S. from COVID must be rational and impressive. We also assumed he must be honest, but we were wrong. It soon became clear that Tony Fauci was just another sleazy federal bureaucrat, deeply political and often dishonest. More shocking than that, we then learned that Fauci himself was implicated in the very pandemic he'd been charged with fighting. Fauci supported the grotesque and dangerous experiments that appeared to have made COVID possible. We came to these conclusions incrementally, spurred by evidence that accumulated over the course of a year. Tonight, we have the mother lode. Thanks to a Freedom of Information request from BuzzFeed, we have thousands of emails to and from Anthony Fauci. They go back to the early winter of 2020. Collectively, they show that from the beginning, Tony Fauci was worried that the public might conclude COVID had originated at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Now, why would Tony Fauci be concerned that Americans would conclude that? Possibly because Tony Fauci knew perfectly well that he had funded gain-of-function experiments at that very same laboratory.
Hey-o.
Emails prove that Fauci lied about this under oath. Consider this exchange, which began the evening of January 31st, 2020. It was a Friday just before midnight. The first email came from an immunologist called Christian Anderson, who works at the Scripps Research Institute in La Jolla, California. Anderson warned Fauci that COVID appeared to have been possibly manipulated in a laboratory. Quote, the unusual features of the virus make up a really small part of the genome, less than 0.1%. So one has to look really closely at all the sequences to see that some of the features potentially look engineered. The next day, on February 1st, Tony Fauci wrote back, thanks, Christian. Talk soon on the call. Fauci then sent an urgent email to his deputy, a man called Hugh Auchincloss. The subject of that email, in all caps, was important. Quote, Hugh, it is essential that we speak this AM. Keep your cell phone on. Read this paper as well as the email that I will forward. You will have tasks today that must be done. Attached to that email was a document. It was entitled, quote, Barrick, Shi et al., Nature Medicine, SARS Gain of Function .pdf. Now, the Barrick in the attachment referred to Ralph Barrick, a virologist based in the U.S. who collaborated with the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Barrick worked with a woman called Dr. Shi Shengli, known as the Bat Lady, because she manipulates coronaviruses.
It's all connected and it's all coming out.
In the attachment. Now, keep in mind that during the questioning from Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky fairly recently, Tony Fauci denied that this same Ralph Barrick had conducted gain-of-function research. Again, this is the Ralph Barrick in Fauci's attachment, which was entitled Barrick, Shi et al. SARS Gain-of-Function .pdf. And yet, under oath before the United States Congress, Fauci denied this.
Dr. Barrett does not doing gain-of-function research, and if it is, it's according to the guidelines, and it is being conducted in North Carolina. And if you look at the
North Carolina
the progress reports, it is not gain-of-function, despite the fact that people tweet that.
Oh, it wasn't just on Twitter. It was in Fauci's own emails. In retrospect, that looks a lot like perjury. We do know that starting early last year, a lot of people at NIH were worried that COVID had not occurred naturally. They were concerned it had been instead manipulated in a lab in China. And yet they seemed determined to hide those facts from the public. Again, why? On the afternoon of February 1st last year, Fauci held a conference call with several top virologists. Most of the details of that call remained hidden from public view. They've been redacted. We know the call was related to a document entitled Coronavirus Sequence Comparison. Jeremy Farrar, a British physician who runs a major research nonprofit, reminded everyone on the call that what they said was top secret.
Nope, not yet.
Quote, information and discussion is shared in total confidence and not to be shared until agreement on next steps, end quote. In other emails, Jeremy Farrar passed along an article from the website Zero Hedge. That piece suggested the coronavirus might have been created as a bioweapon. We now know that is a more plausible explanation than the one we believed at first and were told by the media, which is that corona came from a pangolin. And yet for the crime of saying that out loud, a more plausible explanation, Zero Hedge was banned from social media platforms. Until recently, you were not allowed to suggest that COVID might be man-made. Why couldn't you suggest that? The fact checkers wouldn't allow it. Why wouldn't they? Because Tony Fauci assured the tech monopolies that the coronavirus could not have been man-made. And so the tech monopolies shut down the topic. Watch Fauci lie.
A group of highly qualified evolutionary virologists looked at the sequences there and the sequences in bats as they evolved.
That when Trump gave him the fucking hard stare right there?
That it took to get to the point
gave him that fucking side eye right as he said bats
totally
too.
Consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human.
That was April 17th, 2020, very shortly into the course of this pandemic. At that point, what Tony Fauci just asserted as known could not conclusively have been known. That was a lie. Tony Fauci suggested that he knew because top researchers had decided conclusively that this must have jumped naturally from an animal to a human being. But again, at that point, he could not have known that. That was dishonest. 2 days after he said that, one of the virologists that Tony Fauci had funded to conduct dangerous coronavirus experiments in Wuhan wrote to thank him for the help. That man, a man called Peter Daszak, complained to Fauci that the American tax dollars he'd taken for these experiments were being, quote, publicly targeted by Fox News reporters. Yet Daszak remained grateful for Tony Fauci's support. Quote, I just wanted to say a personal thank you on behalf of our staff and collaborators, end quote.
Big one.
Now,
big
strangely,
fucking
most
email
of this
there.
specific email from Daszak to Fauci has been redacted, and it was redacted under FOIA Section B7A. That specific exemption to the FOIA law applies to, quote, records or information compiled for law enforcement purposes, but only to the extent that production of those documents could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement proceedings. Are Peter Daszak and Tony Fauci under a criminal investigation? We can only hope they are. They certainly deserve it. At this point, we can't say for sure. We do know that Fauci hasn't simply lied about the origins of COVID, pretending to know things he could not know. He has also lied about vaccines in key ways. In March of...
Yeah, could be also tied into why that book got fucking pulled, couldn't it?
Sure.
Maybe there's some shit in that book.
Sure could.
Or all this man's assets are about to be seized anyway.
Yeah,
we'll just shut this one down.
Man, I don't know. It's. I mean, he has a track record now, as far as I'm concerned. Might just be my own personal, my personal opinion, but I don't trust him. I haven't trusted him since, like we said, since the first time he said that don't wear masks. Oh yeah, by the way, wear masks. Bye, Felicia. I'm with you, Sharon. That's what I was talking about basically all last week on the podcast. Was I can't wait for the Fauci downfall because
5 minutes of fame are now over.
Yeah, he didn't ride it to its peak. Who knows? I mean, what do you think? Do you think he just retires? Do you think it's retirement age and that's just his out?
I don't think I said it earlier. The arrow is not pointing towards retirement right now. The arrow is pointing towards him coming out of jail, which is also like he sort of already looks like Blagojevich does now with the white hair. Like, is his hair gonna go black? Is he gonna come out like anti-Blagojevich?
Come out with a fucking full beard, looking like short ass Santa Claus. Yeah, man. All I know is that I just hope it comes out. You know what I mean? I just hope it all comes out. That's really all I'm hoping for, is that the truth actually comes out.
This guy
just fucking bullshit.
Yeah, unless this guy's got footage of somebody from a certain island, he's gonna go down. I don't think he's he's too high on he's not high at all on the fucking totem pole. He's definitely got fall guy material. He's gonna go down for a lot of this shit because let's face it, China's not gonna get any sort of consequences or anything to actually stick to them. But if we could throw tomatoes at this fucking guy and all is forgiven, it's this is what happens throughout fucking history.
Yeah, and it would be even fucking, I mean, he's not even the director of the NIH, you know what I mean? He's not the big dog in any of the departments.
Yeah, that's a big sign. There's a big sign there too. They sent somebody out there that was, not just expendable, but
right. Who's been
they
around
could easily fucking recover from, a disgraced fucking member of their fucking organization.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh yeah, it's just some asshole." You know, he wasn't on the board. He wasn't actually in charge of anything. He was just a guy.
Well, I hope that's not all. I hope that's not the end of the paperwork. Care for a flat chat? What's a flat chat, Truthway?
So following along with the mayor of Chicago only taking interviews from people of color, the FBI is having hiring events. No white people allowed. They hopefully they just need people to infiltrate the idea. But this guy on the front of the picture, you know, this Asian guy, hopefully they don't get guys that look like Andy.
Andy, no, yeah, that
Yeah,
guy on
Andy,
the
no.
that guy on the picture here, it looks a little too close to Andy, no, to begin with.
He wouldn't get close to the idea.
A flat chat is a friendly discussion about the flat Earth reality.
We could after we wrap up, we can
Yeah, we'll
you can try
definitely.
to debunk space. I'm here for it.
I'll listen, but
Hey, and here's speaking of, here's what I was talking about. Here's the thread of
Mr. Andy
Mr.
Nagu,
Mr. Andy No getting he was tried to infiltrate Antifa yesterday. You know, he was documenting a protest, and they identified him, cornered him, ripped his mask off, and attacked him.
yeah,
Here's
look at
the whole fucking thread here. You see that guy?
yeah, he's fucked up. Was he burned? What's going on here?
Put him on blast. Help the FBI find this man.
What happened to that man? It looks like he had a face transplant. What the fuck is in the water on the West Coast, bro?
It definitely has the makings of has the look of a supervillain. Not surprised to hear he's running with the fucking idea.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the idea needed their bane.
Truthway says debunking space is almost too easy. You guys got a Discord? Yeah, I'll post a Discord in 1 second, and then I'll post the link in the Discord. Elites fomenting chaos in the streets of Portland. Nothing new. Divide and conquer. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily the elites doing the dumb shit in Portland. I think the idea. You're in California. I'm on the West Coast in California as well. I could put it on you for total dunces. But Portland, like that rainy area up to your north, it seems like there's fucking so many weirdos out of fucking Portland and Seattle.
Yeah, it's a damn shame too, man, because about 10 years ago I was fucking into the scene. I was looking at Portland like, oh man, bunch of young people are getting together and growing their own food and saying more or less fuck the government, but in an intelligent and sustainable way. I'm like, fuck, man, I'd like to check this place out. Never got around to visiting Portland, and fuck, am I glad I didn't.
Yeah.
It would have destroyed my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Going there with such high hopes and then going to see what it actually fucking is, it would have wrecked me for a little bit. So I'm glad I stayed away and just tried to, be the change in my own life, my own way.
Yeah, see, Truthway says no sun makes people go crazy. That's why you have the term lunatic. There's a bunch
I
of
think that's the moon.
lunatics up there in the Pacific Northwest. That's what I was just going to say.
But lunatic is referencing the moon, like lunacy. That's the moon, not the sun. But space ain't real. So you mean like the magnifying glass in the sky or like the light bulb? Elaborate.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say is just that it's so fucking depressing up there. It's just so gloomy and rainy all the fucking time.
They're living in what the fuck was those vampire fucking Twilight movies? Living in fucking Twilight.
Yeah.
Now they're all living in their own little movies. So Fauci was on CNN the other 7 hours ago. This is probably this morning. It was. So basically, he's trying to get ahead now, and definitely look at his. I guess we'll watch it just because you could see the look on his face. Like what he's saying is one thing. Like I don't think. Why would the Chinese deliberately engineer something and to kill themselves? Like nobody's saying that. Like this is what doctors do and what he's done all along, diverting and deflecting. But the look on his face
Human
today
spillover,
is
not a
telling.
lab release.
He doesn't look like
from the
that happy
Wuhan
guy
Institute
anymore.
of Virology.
He doesn't
That
seem to be
email
having a good
was
time.
April 18th. Now, there are some of your critics who say this shows you had too
Just look
cozy of
at
a
it.
relationship.
Does that look like a guy that's having a good fucking week?
No, not at all.
he's got
Not
got the patented CNN scowl on his face.
Right.
Fucking eyes are fucking dark. This man hasn't fucking slept.
He's trying to fit in.
The people behind the Wuhan lab research. What do you say to that?
Oh, that's nonsense. I don't even see how they get that from that email. That email was sent to me from them. I have always said, and will say today to you, John, that I still believe the most likely origin is from an animal species to a human, but I keep an absolutely open mind that if there may be other origins of that, there may be another reason. It could have been a lab leak. I believe if you look historically, what happens in the animal-human interface, that in fact, the more likelihood is that you're dealing with a jump of species. But I keep an open mind all the time. And that's the reason why I have been public that we should continue to look for the origin. That email in no way.
Has he though? Has he had an open mind, and has he said that we've been needing to look for the fucking origin the whole time? Has he fucking though? I haven't heard those. I haven't heard those words come out of his fucking mouth.
I haven't heard him say that he was
besides from last week, since last week, you know.
I haven't heard him do a fucking interview from China in the last year. So I don't think he's been doing a goddamn thing. He's just been pushing out shit that he doesn't know to be true.
Yeah, just the narrative, whatever the fuck sheet they hand him to say that week. Sure, I'll fucking read it. Just keep giving me the book deals.
Through it however you want. That email was from a person to me saying, thank you for whatever it is he thought I said. And I said that I think the most likely origin is a jumping of species. I still do think it is.
About him
at
being
the same
thanked
time as
for
I'm keeping an open
giving
mind
the Chinese narrative.
that it might be a lab leak.
Our company and our collaborators,
April 16th,
thank you
an email
for
exchange
dismissing
between you and NIH Director
any other
Francis
narrative.
Collins. The email sent to you said conspiracy theory gains momentum. And this, again, was the idea of the lab leak. Those emails, though, as you can see on the screen, or I can see on the screen, was all redacted between you and Francis Collins. Do you happen to remember?
It's flat.
Do you remember
John,
what was in it?
Human soul.
John, they only took about 10,000 emails from me. Of course I remember. I remember all 10,000 of them. Give me a break.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. I remember all of my emails. Every single one of them. Emails. Even the ones I didn't read because they were too long.
And here we have more of our president and his many campaign promises, and you know the stuff that passionate people got behind him. You know, the multiple platforms that, you know, issues that I fucking agree with and that I could fucking, you know, could sort of get along with, you know.
Yeah.
It ain't happening so much because again, he's rich.
Right.
Just like in Illinois with the J.B. Pritzker's fair tax. The top 10 richest people in the country are all his relatives. You really think that they're fucking going to tax themselves?
Yeah,
Like,
what's
really?
going to be fair about this plan? And then they were shocked that the people didn't vote for it. Like, yeah, we've heard that before. We've played this game.
Yeah, we know what fair means. Yeah, so it looks like Bezos, you know, and don't think that the corporations on the left aren't fucking thrilled about this as well. You know, this is, you know,
For sure.
this is for the people that, you know, really believe that there's two sides to that fucking coin. Because me not so much.
Right.
Not so much. Not me. Not this guy.
There was only one side to the corporatist coin.
And 4 hours ago today, the xenophobic Joe Biden administration blacklisted 59 Chinese companies from taking U.S. investment.
Well, would you look at that? Communications companies too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, is China up to something? Man, who'd have thought?
Like xenophobic question mark?
Yeah.
Like that would have been the headline today. Trump goes on fucking xenophobic rampage on Twitter this morning.
All telecommunications, all, shit where they would be fucking spying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's just, that's just the beginning. You spy so that you can do shit. You don't just spy to, to know fucking secrets and to fucking giggle and shit. You spy for nefarious activities.
Right. Flat Earth Godfather has joined the Discord.
And we are, and I had to, of course, Poso fucking went in on Saki today with journalism and had, hey man, we just did that episode 2 weeks ago. But we're just ahead of everything. Updates on the White House cat. That's your White House, ladies and gentlemen. Updates on the White House fucking cat.
Yep, that's journalism. That's journalism nowadays. I mean, does anybody need any more fucking of an indication as to where journalism is now? You know what I mean? If you just compare the treatment of the two most recent administrations, there are such glaring differences.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where this is. How much longer is Fauci gonna last? It was a big shift from the last episode to this episode. Trying to think of where he's gonna be next week or for our next episode.
Fauci?
Will the gavel have already dropped? Because they're, in my opinion, they're gonna get rid of him. He's the fall guy. He's going to take all the grunt, all the punishment, so that China, can just fucking move on scot free. It's absolutely what's gonna fucking happen.
I mean, the way I think about it is he could even push it down river a little bit with that Dazak guy. You know what I mean? The EcoHealth guy, the guy that actually took the money. And the guy that did the WHO investigation. The first one, the one that was not fucking, the methods were not actually very conclusive.
Now that I'm thinking about it, Fauci does strike me as an accidental suicide guy. I think he'll talk. He strikes me as the kind of guy that would talk and spill the beans on whatever the fuck he could.
Oh man, I don't even want to think about that. It's been a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a while. Most of the population seem to have forgotten about the last one. So
yeah.
I figured the way everybody, seems to have the memory of goldfish these days, I guess you could probably have an accidental suicide about every 3 months and it would fly under the fucking radar. Just bring back the McRib and a new Drake song and yeah, fuck, just a new stimulus. That'll fucking do it.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to talk to this flat earther?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Truthway. We're gonna open it up to call-ins. The link is in the Discord. It's the StreamYards link.
I think it's in was it Public Square on that tab?
Yeah, in the public square, StreamYards.
Again, but now, just a warning: like, we will not block, we will not ban you, but you have to abide by the fucking terms of service on the platforms. So
Yep.
don't
No,
don't
we're not.
shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, Truthway, we're not in Discord. We're in StreamYards. The link in the public square, the general chat section. What's up, Liquid Sunshine? Thanks for joining, bro. Thanks for stopping through. If anybody else wants to jump on, we're gonna open it up right now. We just finished going through the news, and I'll drop the Discord link here again.
Definitely need to bring back throwing tomatoes at people.
Truthway's gonna jump on and talk us into. That's a pretty good sound effect for
Sharon sent me a message of Biden stepping out of a helicopter. I don't know if how doctored it is or not. It's hilarious, but I don't know if he slipped or if he actually fell again. But yeah, the media certainly has stopped taking videos of him getting on and off of vehicles or in and out of vehicles.
All right, so Truthway, like we said, all TOS. If you break TOS, I'm just gonna kick you immediately. DFK, what is this? Air watch? No, I don't think so. Somebody sent me a whisper. I don't respond to whispers unless it's somebody I know. But Truthway here is going to jump on panel, and he's going to talk us into to believing in flat Earth. If anybody else wants to jump on panel, should be an interesting one.
Somebody's commented on my page. Did you see it yet? It's Fauci interview. It was I. Well, all right then. I did not see the interview. Be a little bit more specific.
What's up, Truthway? You out there?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
What's
How
up,
you doing?
buddy?
I'm doing well. It's great to be with you.
Right on. Well, thanks for joining.
Well, thank you guys for hearing me out. I know it's a pretty controversial topic and something a lot of people laugh at on face value. I did. So
you didn't always believe in flat Earth?
no, I don't. That's the thing. Every flat earther at a period in their life subscribe to the heliocentric globe model.
That's no. You're just talking about that are alive right now. Because once upon a time, that just because not everybody on Earth once believed in a round Earth, because at one point in time it was accepted that the Earth was flat. So that's not entirely true.
Well, no, I'm just saying in the 21st century.
Yeah. Okay.
Grown up. I mean, the first
most people
give you when you're a little baby, you read a Good Night Moon maybe, or you got a little mobile on your crib with all the different planets in the solar system. Then you go into kindergarten, you see a globe model of Earth. You go to primary school, get your indoctrination all the way through to college. They teach you some pseudoscientific astronomy. And there you go, you believe the Earth is a ball, but you haven't actually looked into it or proven it for yourself, despite the fact your direct senses tell you the horizon is flat and level, and the Earth is not moving, spinning beneath our feet, nor shooting through space around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour, which is just ridiculous.
Have you ever been on an airplane?
Yeah.
Have you ever tossed something in the air while you're in an airplane?
Sure.
Does it go to the back of the airplane when you throw it in the air?
No, it doesn't. Same thing with a car, because an airplane and a car are both enclosed systems, unlike the Earth. We don't have a physical barrier separating the layers of the atmosphere between the infinite vacuum of space. So go on your airplane, take off the outer shell, and do that experiment again, and tell me how it works out for you.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, without the outer shell, but when you're in the plane, you're still moving that speed, right?
Right.
And the ball would obviously be still moving that same speed,
how
right?
does the infinite vacuum of space exist next to our pressurized atmosphere without just sucking all the air right off of it, because space is the ultimate vacuum in the heliocentric model, right? Really makes you think, huh?
Atmosphere. And this is exactly why there isn't life on every single fucking planet that we've identified. This is sort of what makes us a little bit unique and special here.
Well, you're right. We do live in an intelligently designed system, and we are special. But NASA and the people who push the globe Earth hoax in mainstream science, they want you to believe that we, we're here from a big bang that came out of nothing, created everything, and a bunch of rocky
So
and gaseous balls just came
are
out of
you
nowhere and started spinning around.
so are you a young Earther too then?
I mean, I have no idea about any of that, and I'm sure you couldn't either. We can only speculate.
Well, I'm just asking you what you personally believe in. Do you believe in the young Earth, or
What do you mean by young Earth? Do you mean like, am I a
How,
creationist? Do I think the Earth is like 4,000 years old?
yeah, how long do you think that there has been life or intelligent life for that matter on this planet?
I have no idea. Our whole history is a giant lie. Mainstream science says the universe is 14 billion years old, but they don't really know either. Again, these are all just theories. The Big Bang Theory is a theory after all. You have to admit nobody knows for sure.
right? But that's kind of disingenuous. Gravity is just a theory, but it's obviously gravity.
Well, gravity can be easily debunked. Gravity does not exist, and all phenomena pertaining to gravity can be explained with scientific principles of buoyancy and density, and the fact that the Earth has a weak negative charge. If you take a handful of marbles and ping pong balls and you drop them in a pool, the ping pong balls are going to
Wait,
float on
hold
the
on one
surface,
second.
and the marbles are going
You
to
guys, are you guys having problems with the sound? Who, like, you can't hear him, or you can't
Yeah,
hear
you guys
us,
fix
or
the sound.
anybody?
I'll be right back in a minute, real quick.
Right on.
Go refresh.
Time Dude. I don't know who Time Dude jumped in. Are you, throw up a comment so I know who you are? Yeah, if anybody else wants to join the panel and talk here, just oh, his audio is low. Okay. Oh, right on, Sunshine.
So the only flat Earth argument that I ever had that I ever heard that sort of made me question or think was is a helicopter going up into the air, and if the Earth really was revolving, if the helicopter went up and hovered and came straight back down, it would land in a different spot.
That's
And
a
I was
good
like,
point, right?
that's interesting. But then I also realized that it's sort of like that ball in the airplane, that the helicopter is acting under Earth's forces, and also while it's hovering, it is hovering over that specific spot. So while that spot is moving, the helicopter pilot is moving with that spot to stay on top of it.
Big
But
Red,
that was
you got it figured out,
Yeah,
man.
so I mean, you
That's
can
a
think of
really
it like
great point.
like a yo-yo, you know.
You're
So
talking
like
about
you got like a yo-yo,
centripetal
right? And
force
like
right
you're
there.
holding it by like the base, right? Yeah, yeah. And like you're spinning around, right? As you let the yo-yo out, right, it's gonna keep pulling it outward, right? Perpendicular to the force, right? Or I guess perpendicular to the direction you're spinning. It's mainly just because like the velocity of the Earth's spin carries over to the helicopter when it takes off, and nothing's
Right.
really dampening
So
it from there.
again, you're talking about centripetal force. You're saying gravity is holding in the atmosphere in the helicopter, which is why it's staying in the same place. I'm sure you guys are familiar with what's known as the Coriolis effect, right? It's this idea that because of the Earth spin, for example, snipers from long distances, they have to account for it and adjust their aim accordingly. How can that be the case? Yet when the helicopter goes up, it stays in the same place. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Let's see.
I mean, you could do a simple experiment on gravity. I mean, a child does it carrying in groceries. Take a plastic bag, put something small with a little bit of weight in it, and just spin the bag in a full fucking circle, and you'll see that after a certain time, gravity will fucking have its own fucking gravity, and it will eventually stay in one fucking spot. Basically, the thing will start rattling around in the bag, and it'll everything, it'll stay in its fucking spot, more or less, for lack of
You're
a better
talking
term.
about inertia caused by centripetal force of you spinning the bag in a circular motion. But the thing is, again, the bag is what is encasing the groceries. There is no container for the Earth's atmosphere.
The atmosphere is the
The
container.
container, yes.
So the atmosphere is the container, and there's different gradations of pressure all the way up to the exosphere and then to space. All of a sudden, you just pop out and there's an infinite vacuum. Science tells us that a negative pressure system cannot exist adjacent to a positive pressure system without a physical barrier separating them.
Or a force containing the atmosphere.
So
A
you're
force
saying
acting
gravity
on
is
the
pulling in
atmosphere.
the atmosphere.
It diffuses outward, right? So it's not like a full atmosphere up to like 10,000 miles or whatever the fuck, right? And then it's just like vacuum, right? It's a gradient.
Well,
Because
yeah,
of
mainstream
gravity.
science says it is a gradient. That's right. I mean, pressure decreases gradually as we go up.
Yeah.
But again, there's no barrier.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like diffuses, right? Diffuses to a vacuum.
Well, I mean, think about it like this: with a magnet, is there a hard barrier where the magnet is no longer attracting something magnetic? No, it's like once you get within the the sphere of the force, then
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
fucking magnets, man.
So you do not believe in outer space at all? Like it's all Photoshop?
I wouldn't say Photoshop.
Because
What
I have
would
a
you
hard
say?
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah. How about just go ahead and give us a brief synopsis of what you think is going
What is
on.
space?
Yeah, I'll give you a synopsis in just 30 seconds here, real quick, guys. I gotta tend to something real quick.
Right on.
But yeah, so for me personally, it's hard for me not to buy into space. I've had telescopes. I've looked into, the study of stars, precession of the fucking equinoxes, Mercury and fucking retrograde, to know that there's some shit out there. There are gravitational forces out there, and there is ebbs and flows, there's give and take, and there are, effects here on the fucking earth. But for me personally, my own personal beliefs, I like to look as the infinite expanse of space. I like to correlate it to the Hermetic axiom of as above, so below. That I like to compare the infinite reaches of your mind and imagination to the infinite vacuum, of space. And if my mind can exist and have no fucking end, and endless fucking possibilities, then naturally the microcosm in the macrocosm, it is going to be exactly the same, because this seems to be how all of this shit works, as
Dude,
as
you're
simply as I could
absolutely
fucking
right.
say it.
You hit it spot on the head. And the fact is, the Hermeticists knew that the Earth was a flat and stationary plane as well. When you're talking about the axiom as above, so below, well, Earth is an anagram for heart. Earth is Middle Earth. It's the middle. Your heel and your body, that's hell, and your head is heaven, right? We live in a geocentric, not a heliocentric system, and the stars above us, they are not gassy balls or rocky balls. They are strictly celestial luminaries or lights in the sky.
But
What
yeah,
do
again,
you
though,
mean by that, though? Hold on, Brett. Hold on.
these hermeticists, they some of them may have believed that the Earth was flat, but again, these are a very fucking long time ago, when also some cultures had mapped the entire Earth from the fucking stars. But like me, I took that exact same information, their writings, their teachings, but a couple thousand years in the fucking future, with other knowledge, that's available to me that wasn't to them, and you know, I got more or less a completely different fucking take from it.
Right. So the Hermeticists knew, again, as above, so below. They studied the stars. They were stargazers. And the stars prove that we're on a stationary, non rotating plane. For example, right now, the sun is in the constellation Gemini. So if you go outside on a clear night right now and, take a picture of the stars, you'll see the constellations, right, of the
Mm-hmm.
zodiac in a particular fashion. You do the same thing a year exactly from today, you'll see the same stars. Now, how does that work if we're spinning on our axis,
Because the
rotating,
precession
orbiting
takes
around the
about
sun?
10,000 years. The
And
precession of the equinoxes is like every 10,000 years. Because if you study history, when Rome first landed in Egypt and they asked them, how long have you people been here? How long has this culture been here? They said, since the sun raised and fell. Basically, the sun switched sides basically 3 fucking times is what they said, how long that the group of the culture had been in Egypt. So that's about 35,000 years is what they were saying if you do the actual fucking math.
I mean, it's a cool story, man, but you can't prove any of it. You can prove
Yeah, wait, hold on a second.
People
Hold
haven't
on
been
a
up.
second. Hold on. You with your flat Earth theory, you're coming in here saying that we can't prove anything. Like, do you understand the irony?
You just made a claim that we had a different sun. I don't know.
He didn't make
4,000
that
years ago
claim.
with H.
No,
Okay.
no,
He didn't
that
make that claim at all.
that the
Okay,
sky,
well,
yeah,
I'm
that the
mistaken. I
stars in the
apologize.
sky had fucking flipped 3 times.
I mean, you understand that if you take a picture right now, like you were saying, of the sun rising in Gemini, a year from now, it wouldn't be the same exact picture. The Earth has a tilt.
Yeah, just like how there's Serpent Mound in Iowa, where on the fucking equinox, the sun is fucking perfectly aligned in its mouth, or on other equinoxes in like the
Exactly.
Great Sphinx, but the next day it doesn't.
Or what
And
about the
that's small
pyramids?
scale.
How
That's
are the
small scale.
pyramids in perfect alignment with Orion still to this day? If we're cork through and shooting through infinite space.
There's another one too that's sort of like that. It's Draconis. That's
Draco,
that yeah,
Constantine
yeah.
Draco.
It doesn't. It really doesn't move either.
But I mean, there's
Either just Polaris, the
that's,
North Star. All
that
the
just
stars
has
arc
all that
around.
has to do with
Yeah, well, Polaris is
their
attached to that
distance
Draco.
from
It's
the Earth.
right next to each other.
The stars that make up constellations that are closer to Earth are gonna change faster. The farther away stars that we could still see, they're gonna seem like they're not moving. But that's because they're fucking millions and millions of miles away.
Wait,
Right.
so
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say that Orion correlation theory, it looks like it's just like the layout of the pyramids mirrors the Orion.
Yeah, it's just a
Orion
three.
belt
That's not
specifically.
even confirmed. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, like they
That is
correlate, right? But that's
confirmed,
not.
absolutely. Just like you were saying,
so
Serpent Mound with the sun on. I don't know if it was
it's
the
different.
spring equinox, but all ancient cultures they reveled in the stars and they
Yeah,
didn't
and the
worship
Egyptians thought the
them,
Earth was round, right?
No, the Egyptians thought the Earth was flat. Absolutely,
Ooh,
the Earth was known
okay,
as
Yeah, I don't
Jeb.
know about that one either.
Yeah, let me hear.
Well, I mean, I'll look up a picture of Egyptian conception of Earth.
All right,
Earth
well,
was known to the
yeah, I got you.
Egyptians as Jeb, and the firmament or the dome above us was known as Nut. And you can see in Egyptian cosmology, Nut, the sky, outstretched like a dome over Jeb, the Earth. The Egyptians knew, and they were super into sun worship because the sun is the life giver. Nothing on this planet can exist without the sun's rays.
Sure.
I think Joe Pesci said it best. I pray to the sun, but I worship Joe Pesci. He gets shit done.
All right, I want to go back to what you said about stars. You said that they're simply, what'd you call them? Something
Celestial luminaries.
Celestial. So basically, the lights in the sky.
Exactly. As far as you and I can tell, and when it comes down to what's above us, we can either observe from the ground or take a government agency's word for it, like NASA, which all they do is.
But what about like telescopes and stuff? You can't, like, even a cheap telescope, you could look at the moon pretty easily. What's the moon? Is it just like is that flat as well? Is the sun flat as well? I mean, is the Earth the only thing that's flat in this universe?
I would like to go even farther on, like, what about the moon, man? What about like the craters? Like, what are asteroids and all that shit? Why do some comets pass by every certain amount of fucking years? You know what I'm saying? Why does it seem like we're spinning and everything's spinning if it's not?
How does it seem like we're spinning to you?
Have you ever looked at a time lapse of the night sky?
Yeah, all the stars arc around Polaris in a yearly cycle and continue to do so each and every year. Have you guys ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones? I don't know. You guys seem
Yeah. Nah, not a big
Yeah,
fan.
no,
I think
I've
that's
heard of them.
some man-made fucking phooey.
Absolutely. I mean, the Georgia Guidestones have the 10 commandments of the New World Order in multiple different languages on it. And actually, in the Georgia Guidestones, there's a little small circular slit in it. And if you look through it, it points directly to Polaris, the North Star. If you take a time lapse of it over a year, all the stars are rotating around
But you
Polaris. People who
understand that
erected monument understand that the
you
stars are
understand
rotating around us. We are not moving.
that these alignments are not always in perfect alignment, right?
They are. You can look at the time lapses yourself online. Again, the zodiacal constellations prove flat Earth. Every constellation does. But like you said, they want you to think that they're unfathomable light years away and that they have no significance to your life.
Okay,
Right,
so with regards to Polaris, right? I'm looking at it right now, and the reason that all the stars rotate around it, supposedly from the government, right, that's telling us this, is because it's aligned with the north celestial pole. So like the Earth rotates perpendicular to that axis, and that's why all the stars seem to rotate around Polaris.
Right.
And that seems to be a given, right? If we have thousands of stars in the sky, one of them will be along the center of rotation, right?
Right. Like a top spinning, that would be the post
But
in
we're
the center of the
spinning and
top.
orbiting the sun, which is also shooting through infinite space.
Okay. So do we agree with like perspective and how things far away don't move as much? Blizzard brought this up earlier.
Yes, I understand that. Okay, how about get this, guys? So do you guys know how far away the sun is in your conventional heliocentric model? It's 93 million miles away. It's fine that you guys didn't know that. I didn't know that at first too before I started researching.
Yeah, I mean it's common knowledge though. I mean a simple Google search could figure that out pretty quick.
All right, well then how fast are we spinning at the equator? Do you know?
I have no idea. I could probably find it though.
Haven't been in school for a long time.
So why are the numbers relevant?
But let me just say, so the sun is a giant yoga ball in comparison to a little marble Earth, right?
And yeah, he looks like yeah, sure.
So bring the sun 1 mile away from Earth, right? The sun will fill up the entire sky. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
from
180 degrees of it, yeah, something like that.
Right. So now you move the sun from 1 mile away from Earth to 93 million miles away from Earth, right? And you can hold up a dime at arm's length, and that's the size of the sun. Okay, you follow?
It depends on if it's winter or summer.
Yeah,
you're right. The sun is farther away in winter. That's true, but give or take dime, quarter, 93 million miles away. That's from 1 mile away. That's what you get. Now, if you move it 8 times farther away than 93 million miles, that would be 1 light hour. 1 light hour. We can scientifically prove that the angular resolution of the sun would not be able to be resolved by us on Earth. So you couldn't see the sun. They want you to believe that stars like Polaris are not 4 light hours away, but 4 light years away. That's
You're saying the angular resolution of telescopes wouldn't be able to see the sun if it was 1 light hour away, 8 times further than it is right now?
In perspective. You can see stars like Polaris with your bare eye, your naked
So you're saying
eye.
if the sun was 8 times further away, we wouldn't be able to see it? Because I can do some geometry right now and figure out how small it'd actually be compared to the original size.
All right, well, you should do that and get back to me. But what I'm saying is, you move it 93 million.
You haven't done this.
You haven't done this, exactly. You haven't done this, but you have your mind made up.
Listen, guys, I have done this. It's scientifically provable and testable.
So how big would it be?
You wouldn't be able to resolve it. You would not be able to see it with your naked eye because the angular resolution would be too small.
Okay, gotcha. So you don't have like any number on like how much it decreased, just like that wouldn't resolve.
It absolutely wouldn't resolve.
Is this based on like normal optics, like 20/20 vision?
Sure.
Okay.
It doesn't really factor.
Well, I mean, if you have shit eyesight, maybe.
Yeah, I can't see for shit, so
I'm not sure exactly what you're playing at. So I'm just gonna. It'll take a while since I haven't fucking taken geometry in like 5 years. So.
I want to go back to my question. Like, what about the moon? The moon looks pretty round. Why does the moon look round? Are we the only flat thing in our fucking galaxy?
You're right. Okay, so here's the thing with globe earthers, and I was one of them too.
No, I mean, I'm asking about flat Earth. What's the flat Earth explanation for the round moon and the round sun?
So, like I was saying with globe earthers, The commonality is, first of all, they don't understand their own heliocentric model whatsoever. Like you said, you didn't know how fast we were spinning. You had to Google it. And second of all, they don't understand.
No, off the top of my fucking head, definitely had the numbers before. It's not like this is just, we're just taking this as at blind faith at one point in time, you know, whether it's at school or fucking just independent fucking research, you know, it has been looked into, just as you claim that you have your numbers as well.
How many constellations are there? I'm assuming that's important to you in your flat Earth model, right?
I mean, I think there's 48 visible constellations.
What about the invisible ones? And how do you know about them, actually?
Well, no, they say there's like 96 now or something like that. But I'm talking about what's observable. There's 7 planets that are observable with our eyes that were known to the ancients as wandering stars. And there are 48 constellations, including the zodiacal constellation.
I am blown away by how much you know about this.
Right, so
that's awesome.
What about, like, you know?
But wait, getting back to, let me address the point.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, but so what I was saying, how globe earthers mischaracterize flat Earth beliefs. We are not just a flying frisbee or a little disc with a bunch of other round planets in a solar system. We don't believe in a solar system. We believe in geocentricity, meaning the Earth is the center of the universe. And like I said, all these planets are revolving around us.
So you guys really didn't advance the thinking from, you know, 2,000 years ago at all. It's really the same old shit that people got burned at this, or you know, it's literally the exact same thing that people were saying before, you know, we had fucking telescopes and, you know, advanced mathematics. It's not like you guys have any new evidence. It's, oh shit, we're the center of the fucking universe. There's been nothing added to it.
And the heliocentric model was adopted in 1542 because of Copernicus's findings about how the Earth allegedly revolves around the sun. But that is a relatively new belief, as you've talked about before. Ancient cultures and people back then who are, you know, writing literally about astronomy, they're saying we live on a flat, non-rotating plane. And what we see in the sky is rotating above our heads.
But that's just plain text. What about, like, you know, allegory stuff like Epic of Gilgamesh or other words where some people say that it's more or less talking about the actual forming of our solar system, fucking planets hitting each other, forming our asteroid belts, shit like that. You know, a lot of deeper knowledge that's hidden in some ancient texts that more or less do sort of talk about, you know, ancient people knowing about space and celestial bodies. Well, again, too, long before telescopes as well.
Certainly. I mean, even the most primitive cultures were able to observe and, you know, have reverence for the sun and the moon, like you were talking about at Serpent's Mound.
But asteroid belts and shit?
Again, these are things you've never observed, are relatively new with the founding of NASA, which it's an organization that's
exactly. But me personally, I can agree with that I have never seen space, but I can say that I don't know, but you certainly, you know, have your mind made up, right? And you yourself do not know either.
Like observability with the naked eye is what you're basically going with. That's your
air isn't real, gravity gravity isn't real, air isn't real,
magnetism isn't real,
air is real, magnetism is real. Again, I mean, yeah, I go a lot with direct senses, but like we were talking about how a negative pressure system cannot exist adjacent to a positive pressure system, that's theoretical science as well. The fact that water always seeks to maintain and find its level, there's no instances of bulging water anywhere or curved water at all in a container. These are all scientific, measurable, observable, and testable experiments that you can do yourself to prove that the Earth is flat.
That first one, right? So can we agree that if there's a force acting on a gas, right, it'd be more dense towards the force than it would be away from it?
I can't say that I'm following. You're saying if there's a force acting on a gas.
Yeah, so I'm saying the reason that there is a difference in pressure between the Earth's atmosphere and the vacuum of space, right, is because of gravity, right? Absent all other forces, sure, it diffuses indefinitely, right? But with the force acting, pulling it towards the Earth, right, you would assume, under my, I guess, current science belief, right, that it would be more dense towards the center of gravity. So like this is explained with our science.
I'm not really following the logical coherency there. And like I said before, gravity does not exist. It is just a theory. It's a bunch of
Yeah, that's fine. You're talking about like whether or not our system can explain these phenomena, right? So let me try to clarify, right? So the statement that you said was that a negative pressure system can't exist next to a high pressure system, right? Is that what you said?
without a physical barrier in between them.
What about magnets?
All right.
Go
What
on
about
magnets for days? Magnetism is extremely fascinating.
Okay.
Why do different parts of the Earth have seasons at different times? Why isn't it all just the same season everywhere?
Right, that's a great question. A lot of people have it going into it as well. And the fact is, seasons make more sense on a flat Earth than they do on an oblate spheroid or Earth, because the fact is, the sun and the moon are more local luminaries than you've been led to believe, and they go around.
It's all a fucking sham. Damn.
Axel Jordan on YouTube says the new
So
OK
look at-
Boomer.
I knew they've been
OK
lying to me,
Boomer.
but I didn't know it went this deep.
Check this out. So picture a big clock, right? And the equator is just a circle around the center, right? And the Tropic of Cancer is a smaller concentric circle above the equator. The Tropic of Capricorn is a larger concentric circle on the outside of the equator, right? And the sun at the spring equinox, which equinox means even day and night, starts at the equator. From there, it oscillates in between the tropics, going up to Cancer.
Are you
down to Capricorn?
Are you a ice wall edge kind of guy?
Well, absolutely. Antarctica is the highest land on Earth.
You just said that the equator would be a perpendicular line, right? So wouldn't that equator go through
the ice wall? Exactly.
It's a circle.
You mean a globe?
No. Imagine a clock. The sun keeps track of the days and the hours. The moon keeps track of the months. Okay.
Right, but if the Earth is flat and the sun disappears, that would mean the sun goes under the Earth.
No, again, it's just
spinning. They're just spinning like a top. Yeah.
No, the sun is spinning around us, and it's going. There's a lot of factors. Atmospheric density, you can't see it anymore. You cannot resolve the sun anymore. It's not going down beneath the horizon. You guys think that when you see a sunset, you're spinning backwards at 700 miles to 1,000 miles per hour, and that's causing the sun to disappear from your view. That's complete insanity.
It's going. Yeah.
Wait, just to clarify, you said it's insanity that the sun is obscured by the Earth.
Well,
no, I just
go ahead, finish.
No, I'm saying sun rises in the west, or rises in the east, sets in the west, right? So when it's going down, I live in California. I'm on the west coast. I can see the sunset over the ocean.
Sure.
If you're looking towards the ocean and you see the sun, and as it goes down, you think that the sun is not moving. We're orbiting the sun. And we're spinning backwards towards the east, which is why the sun is disappearing from view. We're speeding we're spinning at like Mach 2, faster than the speed of sound, and that's why the sun is going down. Not that it's moving away from you, which it is, in a circular fashion.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever like spun in a circle before? You know how like whenever like you're spinning, stuff kind of moves out of your field of vision?
Yes, I understand.
As you're spinning away from.
I'm emphasizing the speed and the rate at which you would be moving for the sun to disappear. It's pure nonsense.
So with regards to so are you curious as to like why we don't feel it, right? Because this would just be because we're not accelerating, right? We'd only feel it if we were accelerating or decelerating.
Well, in that example, it doesn't matter if you feel it or not. It's what you see. But
well, no. Sorry, specifically talk about the rotation of the Earth, right? You're skeptical of it because why? It's too fast to think of, or what? Why is it?
Doesn't match up.
I think we just fly off if we were moving that fast, right? The water would just fly off.
Why doesn't the water of the ocean fly off? You ever get a tennis ball wet and swing it around? The water's gonna fly off because it's not contained.
Yeah, for sure. Because like the speed at which it's rotating versus the gravity that the tennis ball has, right, is too much.
Yeah.
So I would say that if
gravity of the actual tennis ball.
If you spun the tennis ball as fast as the Earth was spinning, it would.
So if we want to go through this, I mean, this would probably take too much revisiting of like 5th grade physics or something like that. We could probably
Well,
like
I got some simpler questions than that. Like
Yeah,
about
no, that's
your clock model. Like,
Yeah.
does your clock model also account for why lunar eclipses don't only occur at midnight? Why you could see them at different hours all around the Earth? It's because it's the sun and the moon are moving like clock hands. Like that sounds like some 5th grade shit to me. Like some daydreaming kid in the class that just stares at the clock all day waiting to go home.
Okay, so
Based
you
on-
want to talk about lunar eclipses? So mainstream science says a lunar eclipse occurs when the sun, the earth, and the moon are lined up, 180 degrees, just like 3 pool balls, right? And the earth's shadow casted on the moon creates the eclipse. That's a lunar eclipse. You can look up what's called a selenilion, which is a phenomenon in which the sun and the moon can both be observed from the earth's surface during a lunar eclipse. That scientifically and undoubtedly proves that Earth's shadow is not what's being projected on the moon.
How do you spell
cause
that?
lunar eclipse.
How do you spell selenilion?
I'll type it in the chat.
Yeah, that's fine.
So to go back to my moon and sun, so you think that they are spherical, just the Earth is flat?
No, I don't think they're terra firma. I don't think you could land little men in diapers on the moon like NASA claims they have done. The moon, to be quite frank, is the biggest mystery. But again, it's not a spherical planet.
So you don't hollow moon at all? You don't put any change into the hollow moon theory?
No, not at all. That's just a bunch of nonsense as well.
In your opinion, is the moon also flat, just facing us like a clock?
Like the thing on the
moon is
doctor's
not
head?
flat, in my opinion, it is just a light as far as we can observe.
A light?
Yes, it is.
Have you
its
ever
own
looked at the
luminary.
moon and through a telescope?
Absolutely. So, okay, say it's nighttime, right? And you're by like your pool or something, and you're trying to read a book. Can you read a book under the moonlight? Can you see the pages?
It
Yeah.
depends. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm from the city.
No,
There's always light here.
You can. Here's the thing. And what you guys believe is that the sun's light is reflecting off of the surface of the moon, bouncing back onto Earth, and that's what's giving us all, the light from the moon. That's nonsense.
Some of it.
The moon
Some of our light's
itself
probably
is
helping too.
producing its own light, just like the sun.
So do you think it's possible that something could be that reflective?
Well, I mean, it's certainly possible, but if you refer to the inverse square law of light, in which
Sorry, go ahead.
So it's anytime you half the distance to somewhere, it gets twice as strong in the units of lumens, which measure light. So the moon, when you look at it at night, is super bright. So when you go back to the moon landings, right, and you see these little funny men floating around in their harnesses in a Hollywood studio on a dusty, dirty ball, it's completely dim. That's nonsense. That should be extremely lit up, even if it is reflective.
Come on,
so
man.
so just to
scientific
clarify, we
of its inverse square law of light. Look it up.
yeah, so we can see how bright the moon is. It's not like we're blinding ourselves by looking at the moon. It's not even close to the sun, right? But
Well,
looking at
would
the
you
moon
say it's
landing, subjectively, sure.
So then look at the Apollo missions,
Apollo
and the moon landing footage.
You're talking about the video footage from the 60s?
Yeah, from 1969 to 1972, where 6 moon missions were conducted. Yet we haven't been back to the moon since. That's already suspicious enough. It's all fake, bro.
But I mean, you
what
didn't
about
realize where our
what about
video
the craters?
technology was in the 60s, right?
It looks pretty good. Gonna be real.
What about the craters on the moon, but also on the Earth, man? What about like not only the comets that fly past the Earth every so often and come back around, but what about the ones that fucking hit us? What the fuck is that? What are those?
Right. Okay. So when it comes to like asteroids and comets, they're always falling in towards Earth at an angle. They're never shooting past us.
Well, who's flicking them at us?
Well, Haley's comet shoots past us.
Like, yeah. A few of them do. I mean, honestly.
In meteorites, right?
Yeah.
It happens.
The Earth is covered in craters. That moon that you spend so much time looking at is covered in fucking craters. What someone's just shaking, just hitting the salt shaker?
You could look
I
at
can
it.
see the craters.
Like
you can
you
see the
said.
craters on Earth. They're on Earth.
Unless
have to go to the
unless you're
moon.
telling us to not trust our own senses again now, when you just said that your senses were basically all you base your ideology off of. Like, I could get a telescope and look at the moon.
All right, man. Well, again, that doesn't prove that it's a dusty, dirty rock that you can land men on.
I like you, bro. I like you.
So I'm looking at the Apollo moon landing pictures, and they seem fairly well lit.
Yeah, but the thing that they talk about with the
Right,
Apollo moon video and pictures is that there's no stars in the background, but that's because the film quality in the 60s picking
Yeah,
up
of
that
course.
low source of light with the high source of light next to them on the,
Yeah, so I'm not sure like how dim you want this to be, right? I mean, if it's close to Earth, I'd assume that it'd be about as bright as the Earth. Does that not make sense to you?
As bright as the Earth?
Yeah. If it's close to the Earth, then yeah, it'd probably have the same amount of sunlight, roughly.
Yeah, like twice a day, even with the Earth and distance from the sun.
Yeah, something like that.
Depending on where you landed. Yeah, if you stuck your landing.
All right,
Right,
cool.
Nanashi? Welcome to the stream, Nanashi.
Did I convert you? Did that one get you?
Because if the moon is round, you could very easily not land where you intended and land in a much darker area. Not as in the sunlight predominantly as you had liked.
It's possible. Like, they seem to have a fairly well lit area, about as much as the Earth.
Yeah, Nanashi, I do believe he is being good faith in his argument here.
I think he's being good faith. I don't think he's serious, but
No, I'm dead serious.
No,
bro.
I believe that he's serious.
Okay.
I believe that he's serious, definitely.
All right. So if you're serious,
I'm impressed. I'm absolutely impressed by how deep he's in it.
Absolutely.
Like, the reason flat earthers are able to engage in intellectual debate about this subject is because the reality aligns with the research that we've done. It really is flat and not moving. You have to believe that you're on a spinning ball. Flat earthers don't. Flat earthers know.
I've seen pictures of the Earth, though. At this point in time, I don't think they're fake. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I know photos are real. We've had photographs for a long fucking time. They're real.
So yeah, what do you think all these? It's all CGI.
Like, and all yeah.
So photographs are real. NASA calls with the the Hubble telescope, which is $1 billion, multi-billion-dollar feat of engineering, right? That all pictures of Earth except for one from the Apollo moon missions, which is the one you're talking about, a picture of Earth, don't see any stars in the background. All of them are images, not photographs, of interpreted data, composites from interpreted strip data from satellite imagery. None of them are just real. You get a distance away from spherical Earth and you take a picture. None of them. NASA even admits that themselves.
Yeah, those pictures, right? But what about like the people on ISS right now with iPhones and tablets and shit?
Nobody on the ISS is taking Snapchats or TikToks. It's all in a controlled setting because nobody is in space. It's all done here on Earth in a Hollywood studio, bro. They're hanging from wires on zero-G planes. Spacewalks are done in underwater pools with green screens.
These zero-G planes, how long do you think they can stay in zero-G?
Underground water with green screens. So like,
you can get
the water
45
green?
seconds of zero gravity in a zero-G plane.
How many seconds did you say?
30 to 45 seconds.
Do you think that the images and live streams, like Scott Manley, was Scott Manley, the Canadian guy that was on the ISS for a while? Chris Hadfield, thank you.
Yes, I know.
He live streamed more than like 45 seconds.
Yeah, I know. They do long cuts too, and those they're hanging from harnesses and wires.
Okay, so like all the floating shit,
act.
all the floating shit's just CGI. I guess
it is a circus act to convince it's to indoctrinate the serf class, the peasants.
But why? Why would they do that when they already had religion? They already had everybody believing that the Earth was flat and God. Why would they fucking keep switching the fucking narrative?
Listen,
just to endanger themselves.
People who are good people, but they think the Earth is a globe too. But the main reason why the lie.
But why did they change it? Why did they switch the narrative?
Cosmic accident.
Why did they create this lie of space?
Yeah,
when they already had everybody, they already had
What are the millions of people that are lying to us about this game?
Just blowing money on fucking sex and hookers, sex, cocaine, and hookers.
They want to sever your connection with the creator, and now whoever that creator is, that's your own journey. I'm not subscribed to any
I
institutional
disagree with
religion.
that
I'm not a
wholeheartedly. I
religious
think
person.
light pollution and all this shit is a way for them to keep us from looking at the fucking stars, to make you look down at your fucking phone instead. I think it's the
Absolutely.
exact opposite, that looking up into the stars, into the vast expanse of space, does connect you with the creator, because it did throughout history to our fucking ancestors.
Dude, you
I
got it
got
right
the
on the
exact
head.
opposite of that take. The exact opposite take from all of this.
So you don't think the Hermeticists were gazing at the stars for?
I think they would have loved to have had antibiotics. That also
Well,
is a recent development.
No, these people
They
weren't.
had natural
No, they
alchemy instead
definitely,
of
yeah, they
toxic
definitely had
pharmaceuticals.
antibiotics. These people weren't fucking idiots.
I'm saying
They
like fucking
nature
penicillin.
gives
How
you
about that?
away.
Penicillin would have been nice back then. Just like knowing the Earth was round would have been nice.
I don't know. They were definitely fucking with fungus. So who's to say they weren't fucking with molds?
Well, they were messing with all sorts of plants and fermenting all sorts of different things with alchemy. And now that's
Pretty
been replaced
advanced
with
people for
pharmakia
sure.
in the 21st
Which is
century.
why I don't think for a second that they were all in on the flat Earth fucking party, because even back then there were cultures that
Just think
that
of
had it right, coincidentally.
Just think of the sheer number of people that would have to be lying and keeping this lie going every day. Just the sheer number of people that would have to be in on it for this to work.
Like, so what the fuck is up with Elon Musk and going to Mars? Is he delusional? Is he just trying to blast through the ice wall? Is he being paid, like so he can do massive amounts of cocaine and hookers? And like Bezos as well. All of the corporations and the governments are all going, they're trying to lay their claim into space, for mining the infinite fucking resources that are out there. You're saying none of that's fucking real. And why? Why is none of this real?
Yeah,
What
man,
is
that's
the
all
end game?
nonsense. You guys were talking about Joe Biden earlier, right? Do you think Joe Biden is a puppet?
Yeah.
Okay. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, these corporate public figureheads that you see, they're the same way, bro. Elon Musk is a dunce. He's an idiot. He's a puppet. He knows.
But okay,
He
for
knows
what though?
rocket's
So
gonna go to
what
space.
is the point? What is the point of all of this and these guys creating these new companies to get us to Mars? Why couldn't they just, we haven't gone back to the moon in how long? Why did we even start, taking these steps again? Is it because, like is it the underground flat earth society that's starting these pushes to Mars so they can debunk everything? What's the story here?
Again, well, the fact that no one's been to the moon since 1972 is already suspicious enough, as we talked about. But the reason they're talking about commercial space travel and all this stuff, it has to do, if you research Project Bluebeam, a fake alien invasion. They want people to think we're not alone in this universe, which we are. There are no aliens. Aliens don't exist. They're a psyop.
See, I find that. I
Elon
got
Musk
multiple
is the
problems with
same
that one.
person pushing the Neuralink brain chip. We live in a very special, intelligently designed place by an omnipresent creator, and they want to jack a brain chip into everyone, control your free will. They're already doing it now with the iPhone and all these different technologies.
Then why need a neurochip?
COVID. They want to play God on Earth. They are trying to be God, but they're not. They're trying to hide the creator again and take over this Earth plane.
So do you think
That's
God
all
could
Elon
make
Musk does.
globe Earth? Do you think it's possible?
Sure.
Okay, so how does it take us away
Everything
from
else
God?
is a globe, right?
Like your head is actually flat. The mirror is, it's a lie.
Your head is actually the dome of heaven, as I said before.
So, but back to what you're saying
As
about
above, so
Project
below.
Bluebeam, man. I mean, the alien invasion thing is one thing. I'm well aware of it. I certainly keep my eye on all the unveiling of the fucking the UFO Pentagon shit that's coming out, and say, hey, maybe the fake invasion is fucking coming. But as far as us being alone in the universe, it's hard to me to fucking believe that, of again, being on the other side, I guess, the infinite fucking expanse of space, that there is no other organism anywhere. Like, what is it? You know, there's no puddle anywhere in the fucking world. Or anywhere in the fucking, the known universe. It's crazy, and it's incredibly egotistical and selfish to truly believe that you are the center of the fucking universe. It's like it's definitely egotistical and fucking borderline insane. It's so selfish in my eyes that everything revolves around you and your creator.
Not me, but us, and you're entitled to your own opinion, so that's fine.
But at the same time, while everything's revolving around you, you still have that, that helpless, we were just put here. It's sort of victim mentality. Any real religion in my eyes is victim mentality. Just like the shit they try to give you at, AA and stuff. You're just you're just an addict. You can't do nothing about it. Just give it up to God. It's out of your hands. And, it keeps people from taking responsibility for themselves, their fucking actions, and actually being the change that they fucking need. So yeah, I'm sorry, man, but you didn't convert me. But I'd definitely love to have you back and revisit this shit.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody as confident in a flat Earth fucking talk.
Oh no, it's been a couple years since I've had to talk with one. They're all confident, and they're all, for the most part, they guess some shit to a layman would say, "Oh, I don't know how to dance my way around this." It's a lot of numbers. It must be true, but like we've said a few times, we have as much faith in our beliefs as you do.
How about this? If the Earth is flat, like you say, the firmament, what explains the tides?
It's a good question. We don't have an answer. It's
Damn.
definitely not the moon, though.
Damn.
So why don't lakes have tides?
You did it, Blizz.
Because they're too small.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that good enough for you?
Sure. I mean, that works.
Are you convinced?
Listen, man, I was convinced. I just subconsciously believed globe Earth, and like you're saying about religion, I'm not religious whatsoever. Globe Earth
that's
is
hard.
scientific.
Yeah,
religion.
but how can you say you're not?
You're coming off awfully fucking religious, especially like the last 5 or 10 minutes have sounded
you've brought up
so
religious
religious.
How the creator and your connection with the creator. How can you possibly not be
even the
religious?
firmament, even the fucking firmament is a
Spirituality
biblical
versus
term.
institutional religion.
Right. So are you a monotheist, or are you do you believe in one creator, or is there a pantheon of creators?
Well, there is a pantheon, and all the the stars in the sky, that the wandering stars, are named after Roman gods.
I mean, just to be clear, the wandering stars in my understanding are also known as planets, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
There are 7 planets that we can see from the Earth, and yeah, they're known as wandering stars because, unlike the other constellations, they travel in different patterns throughout the constellation.
So then the 8th and 9th planet just don't exist?
No, they do exist. The 8th planet is Uranus, which is the only one that's named after a Greek god. And in Greece, Uranus was the god of the skies, just like in Egyptian cosmology.
Right, but you said you could only see 7 of them. So, and everything is based on what you can perceive, right? So those other 2 are just, I mean, obviously you're saying that even the moon is made up. And
Pluto hasn't fucking made a full orbit since we've discovered it. So I could sort of get what he's saying is he can't see him, but I mean,
So
there's just a monument. There's just a preponderance of the evidence on the other side, man, and it's just too big of a fucking conspiracy to honestly be faked at this fucking point. Like guys like fucking Carl Sagan and fucking, I don't think Elon's as much of a fucking stooge as you do. It's just, man, it'd be one hell of a duping.
The sheer number of people that would have to be involved.
Yeah, talk about a hoodwink.
Look, listen, guys. You know, COVID is total nonsense, giant hoax. All the doctors dishing out deadly vaccines that are going to cause problems.
Oh, slow down, buddy.
That
Did somebody die of COVID that you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're encroaching on TOS terms
Yeah,
here.
for sure. Yeah, definitely gonna
I'm sorry, you
get this
can't
wiped.
talk about the truth on here, right? Because they'll censor you. Think about
Yeah.
that. That's
So is it
Yeah.
possible that saying
But
something
you're
like that would
allowed.
cause
But
people
you're
to
allowed.
die?
But you're allowed to talk about flat Earth, though. You know what I'm saying? They're not. So it's
because
sort
it
of
sounds
interesting. Right? They're not
ridiculous. Yeah, I
censoring. They're not
understand.
kicking us off for talking
Yeah.
about that, though.
They may be censoring the truth, but not the lie flat Earth. Don't worry about it. So I was looking into this for you, and it looks like the sun would probably be like 8 times smaller, the diameter, right? So if you're saying that you can't see the sun, if it was 8 times smaller, I would be very inclined to disagree with you.
I'm saying 8 times 93 million miles. Put
Yeah,
the sun that distance.
Yeah, 8 times
Earth.
further away,
It has
yeah.
nothing to do with the size.
Well, yeah, as things go further away, they get smaller, right?
There you go. You got
Harder
it.
to see.
Yeah. So it get 8 times smaller.
So it's not changing the diameter. The diameter is
No, you're right. It would appear 8 times smaller. It would take up 8 times less of your field of vision.
Exactly, and you wouldn't be able to resolve it.
So you're saying if the sun appeared 8 times smaller, you wouldn't be able to resolve it.
Exactly.
When you say resolve it, you
light
mean
hour,
see it,
one
right?
light hour.
Like, I don't understand why you're using these words instead
so
of the
we can
common
take this.
vernacular.
So you said that the sun was roughly a dime at arm's length. I think that's a little bit too small, but we can just use that for example.
Call
right?
it a quarter.
Sure. Okay, a
half
quarter at
dollar, I
arm's
don't care.
length.
Well, that's
Yeah, okay.
a dime and a quarter. You know,
Half
now
dollar
we're just.
at arm's length. Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Now we just call it whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, so $50 at arm's length, right? If we put it 8 arm's lengths away, would you not be able to see that?
No, you wouldn't be able to resolve it.
You're not able to see a $50 at 8 arm length away. Think for a second. So, like, get a piece of paper in front of you, something about the size of a $50, put it, I don't know, across the room.
Is this just really about people with bad eyes? Is this all this is? Are they just blind on the flat Earth side?
Like, you tracking?
How tall are you, man?
No, that's fine. I'm 6'2". What's up?
Yeah, I'm actually the same. I'm
Let's say
6'2".
you're 6 foot, and if you
Okay,
stretch out your arms like you're in a cross, right? That's supposed to be your
Yeah.
close
So
to
let's say
your
my
whole
arm's like
body
2.5
height,
feet
right?
long, sure, something like that.
So your arm is 2.5 feet long times 8. So what is that? That's 20 feet.
Yeah, something
right?
like that, sure.
So 20 feet, you hold up a $50 tied to the end of the stick. You think you could see it pretty clear?
At 20
Yeah.
feet, you could definitely see it.
Yeah,
I mean, you might
right,
not be able
right.
to read the date
Yeah,
on it.
You're not
Even
gonna
if you
be-
could see it, even if you could see it, that's 1 light hour, right? Do you know how many hours are in a year?
A lot.
A lot, okay? So they say Polaris is 4 light years away.
I thought we were
Granted,
talking
they
about
say
the
it's
sun,
bigger
though.
too.
So,
I'm just trying to demonstrate how absurd the concept of
Mhm.
light years is.
so there's this concept in psychology called like the threshold of perception or something like that. And one of them is with regards to sight, and it's like something like a candle can be seen like a mile away or some shit like that on a dark night. I'll find it for you, because like these are demonstrable like threshold of perception for the average human, right? And I'd say that that's a ridiculously small source of light for how far away that is. Like you'd be shocked at like how well humans can pick up.
Yeah,
both
that'd be
light.
pretty comparable to that $50,
yeah,
wouldn't it?
in total
Sure.
darkness. Yeah, I absolutely could see it though. A tiny candle lit.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let
be
me see if
able
I can find it for you. It's been a while. This was senior year in high school, so it's been a few years. Oh man, don't hold up the conversation for me. I'm finding it.
Yeah, so you shouldn't have to look stuff up yourself. You should be able to think critically and use your
Okay,
brain.
so
and
do
discuss
you
these
think
topics.
that if I'm talking about a specific term or concept, right, it'd be a good idea to be sure of it, right? Just to re-jog my memory.
Yeah, are you
Yeah, 'cause-
sure you're living on a spinning ball, or do you believe that because someone told you that?
No, I mean we're not sure of anything, right? I hope we
seem
both agree.
pretty confident that you live on a spinning ball.
I think
and
I'm more right
your
than you
dad
are, but
believes
of course this is all based on my
eighth grade
perceptions.
astronomy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking what you're saying, I'm digesting it, and trying to pose counter arguments to you, and so far you really haven't answered many of them. Except for like the constellation number.
Same as well. And as far as like having to look stuff up, again, this is something that most people haven't fucking invested in a long time, because you do your research at one point in time or another, whether you came into a fucking a flat earther has come up to you before or not, but you do your due diligence, and then you make up your mind and you sort of fucking forget about it. You move on to other things. So yeah, years and years down the line, you do have to go back and refresh some
So-
shit. We're not. Are you literally repeating all these numbers and all this shit to yourself every day like it's scripture?
No, I don't repeat it to myself. I just know it.
True. So it's called the absolute threshold, and that's fine. I mean, if you don't want us to like Google bro you, that's fine. I won't do it anymore because it does seem kind of unfair if you're not going to be doing it. But
Well, it's not unfair. It's just your crutch.
Well,
yeah, I mean, a crutch to a certain extent, right? I don't have to memorize so many things so I can like allocate my thoughts to others.
Something on Google to confirm your bias.
Oh no, I'm looking for something to re-jog my memory, right? I recalled it, I explained it to you roughly, and then I'm looking up to help you get more accurate information.
We could run a DuckDuckGo search as well and compare it to Google, since if you don't trust the Googlers.
I mean, so yeah, the concept's called the absolute.
Don't use Google.
So-
DuckDuckGo for the win.
So I don't. If you want to go to like your local library after this conversation, you can look up absolute threshold, in the whatever the fuck the library directory, and find books on it. This is
I'll pull it up.
the concept. I'm trying to find actual distance for you, assuming that we're trusting what I'm googling. But yeah.
Do you guys
Still
think
looking.
Google censors?
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah, you guys still use it and then refer to it for knowledge about subjects
Well,
like this.
Google, basically at this point, Google search is just a slang term. You know what I'm saying? The Sears Tower is not the Sears Tower anymore, but we're gonna fucking call it that. It's just it is what the fuck it's called now. Searching anything on the internet is fucking Googling. Sorry, Jeeves, you lost out, man. Bing, all you motherfuckers, you lost out.
So it looks like
not Google searching. You're typing something into a search engine, which is Google's search engine, and then you hit enter. That's a Google search. To find something on the internet, you don't have to use Google.
No, you don't. That's fine.
Yeah, no, but it's
like
we just
it's about
call it
cleaners,
just call
right?
it Googling. Yeah, just calling it Google. Yeah. So popper is it soda, tomato.
So it's 30 miles away, by the way. Candle flame at 30 miles away, and since you like looking into this stuff and experiments, you could probably like do that. Put a candle, light it, go outside, and just walk really far away. Should be able to see it.
Should just fucking focus on a street light. Do what the fuck is
And
street
actually,
light.
I think some flat Earth experiments use this, right? To their dismay because it disproves them. But one where they have like a small window through which to view a candle, right? And the theory is that if you're far enough away and the Earth curves, right, then you shouldn't be able to see the candle through the hole, right? And I think this is a pretty common flat Earth experiment. I guess you might use like flashlights or something like that nowadays. But
Yeah, I think
I'm sure
most
I'm
ones
sure
have
you've heard
candle
about this,
flashlight.
no?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. You can use
Okay.
lasers too.
Laser too. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So I mean, like that's seems to be like a well-known phenomenon, right? That like you can see light sources from really far away.
Yep.
Great. Glad we agree.
Well,
I like that
Navy
conceited up
submarine
there.
can see each other from over 100 miles away, which is impossible on a globe Earth.
Wait, what was that? Something 100 miles away? I didn't catch the first part of that. What'd you say?
Said Navy ships,
Mhm.
submarines can target each other from over 100 miles away.
It's like they shouldn't be able to see each other's.
But just by eye, you think that's how they target?
Yeah, I'm glad because that brought me to one of my questions. Is so satellites not real?
You got it, buddy. They're not real.
Fuck.
So yeah,
And I
you
just
think-
I just bought the new Starlink internet, man. Fuck, I need to get my money back. None of this shit's
All
real.
that's done with ground-based communication towers. It was done before we were, supposedly launching satellites into space.
Interesting.
So that's how Tesla had thought up Wi-Fi long before. He was talking about ground-based wires.
Tesla knew, and you
Is
guys
he
were talking
dying?
about magnetism earlier. Look up the Wardenclyffe Tower and how J.P. Morgan destroyed that and stopped financing that because he couldn't put a meter on it.
Yeah,
Tesla knew
like
that we
these-
lived in a realm. He
these-
knew
These
the
are
Earth
all
was
like
flat and
common.
non-rotating.
Can you point me to a writing from Nikola Tesla that says that we live on a firmament?
Well, there's a quote of him saying that we live in a realm. He also said Einstein was a fuzzy-haired crackpot, and his theory of relativity was basically a beggar wrapped in a royal garb. Was the way he put it.
I mean, the theory of relativity is going through its own scrutiny right now, which
It's
You
total
know.
nonsense.
You're like making connections where I see absolutely no connections. Like what is Tesla saying we live in a realm have to do with flat Earth?
Well, if you
Does
saw
realm
truth
equate
reality,
to
you would
flat Earth?
understand it better.
Does realm equate to flat Earth?
I mean, I prefer the term realm over simulation, but yeah, I think it does.
So like,
You
do you believe in like simulation? Like, I'm like predisposed to believe that we live in a simulation. That's fine.
Yeah, everyone believes that we live in a simulation now because Elon Musk got on Joe Rogan and said it. It's ridiculous. I mean,
Well, just because
it's
Elon
an
Musk said it doesn't make it
oversimplification.
true. But I mean,
Well, it
people
does
thought
have a
this
lot of
before
truth
Elon
that
Musk.
way.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
know.
Pretty much since the dawn of virtual reality, the simulation.
I mean,
fucking shit is-
to be honest, the Matrix kicked it off for most part. I think the books that it was based off of.
Well, it was earlier than that though. They didn't.
Oh,
the
I'm
dudes that wrote the Matrix didn't think that up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
look
And
up
I
a
mean,
1952 book called Project Mars, written by Werner von Braun. He was a Nazi rocket scientist recruited by the U.S. government. He directed all 6 moon missions from 1969 to 1972. In the book, he writes about a character by the name of Elon who takes humanity to Mars and colonizes it. Predictive programming, it's ridiculous. You can look it up. 1952 book, Project Mars. By
so
It's
Werner
true.
predictive
von Braun.
programming
true.
specifically is to get people, the population, used to like negative events before they happen. Just predicting the name of some random person isn't right.
Exactly. It's revelation of the method.
What is that?
It's basically they tell you, well, because they can't void your free will, otherwise they'll receive karmic consequences.
they're
for it.
trying.
They have to tell you
Yeah,
what they're doing.
they're definitely voiding our
Wait.
fucking free will for sure.
No, they're
Where's-
not. You don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to take the vaccine. It's all in your mind. This virus is totally in your mind. And they
Okay.
don't want you to know the power
Okay,
that your
we can.
thoughts create
I
your
mean, I gotta
reality.
push back on
now-
that. Obviously, I mean,
I-
we know that virus is real. We know that the virus is real. I mean,
virus
regardless
isn't
of what.
real, man.
Oh yeah. By the way, yeah. Don't say it. Right. That's what he's saying. Don't say it.
Yeah.
We're
This is
streaming on Twitch. They don't censor flat Earth because it's a lie, but like COVID stuff, it's too close to the truth. Okay. And Minecraft.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
This one's definitely coming down.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. I should probably get out of here before I get you guys a strike. But thank you.
Well,
for tuning
if we
in.
don't get stricken, definitely come back.
Have fun with that
Yeah.
Kindle experiment.
Yeah, man. Have fun thinking that
No.
through your ridiculous globe Earth. Because
I do.
I know. It's all right, man. You guys take care.
You too, man.
too.
Thank you,
Thanks for
man.
coming through, bud.
No, that guy was awesome.
It was.
He knows
Oh, that was
more
great.
than any other globe earther. Let's be real. So kudos to him. You know, I was here trying to get Mark Zuckerberg to help me out on Facebook, posting shit.
Kudos to his creator. Because
Yeah,
that's who's
absolutely.
really in charge. You know, who's really pulling the strings. And at the same time, his creator needs to step his game up because he's letting a lot of people, get away with some very bad things. It seems like. In one hand he's got this fantastic creator, and in the other hand, this creator sucks dick.
It's all free will, baby. That's all.
Nanashi says, "Don't look things up. Just eyeball it."
I wonder
Schmacks.
where did he get his information from? I'm sure he
I
got it
mean-
from like the internet.
Yeah, it sounded like his verbiage, his rhetoric that he was using, and when he was. Hold on. Hermetic principle of polarity, good and evil. The earth can be paradise and also hell. Yeah, the earth is hell. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be both. I mean, I guess it depends on what it's like for all people or some people. Yeah, sure. There's
Yeah.
localized hell, localized heaven. Sure.
But yeah, the rhetoric and the verbiage he was using, and then talking about how, we're just brainwashed to say these things. It's like you have to look up how far away the sun is.
I mean,
You know what I mean? But then he busts out words like, what was it? What was the one he posted?
luminary bodies or something like that. One of them was that.
Celestial luminaries.
Oh yeah, so yeah. That's a Kudos to him. I know there's like some old-fashioned philosophers that like hated people for like not being able to memorize facts and stuff like that, which is fair, I guess. It kind of takes away from
Yeah, wasn't it Socrates that was
I think
talking
so.
shit when
one
they?
of those, one of those old guys.
Yeah,
But
when
at the same,
people started writing stuff down because he was disgusted that people just can't remember.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick. Let me Google it.
But,
Socrates.
given, like, again, he's living this shit every day. If I was fucking out, spewing globe Earth propaganda to the masses, if I was like, a crusader for the fucking globe Earth, I'd be coming correct too.
Mm.
It's not like something that you're fucking invested in.
Yeah, you
like
can't
to
just
be-
wing it for the most part.
Because otherwise, you come off sounding just as crazy and ignorant as fucking he did.
I mean, hey, I understand like his assumption that we just like don't think through these things. I'm sure most people don't, right? So
For
when
sure.
he's going up to some random fucking Twitch person like talking about this shit, they're probably just like, I don't know how far the way the sun is. It's like,
Right.
gotcha, bitch.
Right? How dare you not know? Now I'm right about everything.
Yep, just racking up W's. We
I
fucking
don't
had
know.
him on here for an hour. He just ran out of steam. He's
Truth way, if you're still in here, I want you to get back to me on the tides thing. If you could figure that one out for me.
and run the candle experiment for us and let us know how it went.
It was definitely interesting.
Well, you
man.
beat
He
him
was
with the tides.
prepared.
I thought I was going to get him with the fucking satellites, but that just sent him on an Elon Musk tangent. But you did get him with the tides. I thought I was going to get him with the meteorites too, but he said craters aren't real.
That's just what they tell you, man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave. Thank you for the conversation, guys. I enjoyed it.
No
Right
problem,
on,
man.
man.
Thank
That was
you.
good
I'm probably
talk.
going to jump off as well. I'm going to go try to jump in this pool a little bit.
Right on, right on.
Yeah, that was it's a great fucking chat. If anybody's stuck around through all of that, might have to cut that last part up and put it on YouTube. Just a conversation on flat Earth.
Yeah. I hope it squeaks by the censors.
We'll see. We'll see.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's been an interesting day. I have fun when we open the panel up and we talk to I don't even know what to call.
It was some substance. It was good. It was good. No, it was a huge surprise. I didn't expect it to go anywhere near that well.
It was fun. I like how he called it a flat chat to begin with. Like his first message was we kind of have a flat chat. I was like, what's that?
Yeah, I was curious as well.
I'm gonna look into it a little bit more and have some actual facts and numbers written down for the next time we have this conversation.
A follow-up to the flat chat.
I just really wanted to listen to him go through his ideology. You know what I mean? I just wanted him to start from the beginning and end at the end and then ask him afterwards. But I think he was trying to question us about our beliefs.
Yeah, he was trying to grill us.
That happened. Max Jordan says he gets his information from Tumblr blogs, probably.
Yeah,
I'd
and
be
a couple of idea chat rooms.
Lots of ideas. I mean, yeah, just like Time Guy was saying, man. I mean, you could totally understand what his actual point was, is that people just blindly follow information that they're told because it's easier to do that than to actually figure out why it is the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we make that
Totally
same point
understandable.
with use that with the virus as a part to what to do. Do masks work? Do masks not work? Whether to get vaccinated. It's you know, the exact same thing. We we are aware of it. We are on the same side, you know, of critical thinking, advocates of critical thinking.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes things don't pass the test. And an ice wall holding everything in just, you know, it don't do it. I'd rather put my money on believing that Antarctica, you know, would be the lost continent of Atlantis, you know, that was, you could say, swallowed up by the sea and or ice. And, you know, I'd be willing to put more eggs in that basket than that shit ain't real. But there's a fucking wall of ice like in Game of Thrones, this book that just came out in the last 20 years. You know?
Yeah.
It's childish. You know, it works like a clock. This is elementary shit.
Right. But if you get a compass and you just go east, you'll never hit an ice wall unless that's like a concentric circle. You know what I mean? A circle inside the circle.
Some of these people believe there's actually an ice wall, like just like how you can't go to Antarctica. Like they believe that the military will stop you and turn you around before you can get in range to even see the ice wall.
Right. And I think that's where he was going when I asked him about the ice wall. I was just having trouble. I was having trouble picturing the clock with the circles that he was trying to paint the picture of. I couldn't actually grasp what he was trying to explain, unless he meant like a big circle with, you know, smaller concentric circles inside of it. Whatever, man. It was interesting. It was that probably my first talk with a flat earther that it was all in. You know what I mean? Most people are just trying to figure it out and trying to find out a way to prove if it is one way or the other. As far as I was never too interested in the subject, obviously.
I mean, there was some interesting points that made me look at it, but it's just there's just, you know, there's a preponderance of the evidence for outer space, for planets, for moons, for suns.
Yeah, and I guess the Earth is a flat firmament, but every other celestial body is spherical. So
they're not even real. Like what? Like yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to grasp.
That's what I was trying to get to.
When you
What
start
he
getting to, like,
thought about the
physical
moon,
bounds.
and then he said that it's just a light, like a desk lamp. Like, what do you mean? It's just a light. Like
It's an LED. Come on, man.
Right? Like I was trying to understand. Like I said, if he does come back on at some point later on, whatever, I would like to just have him lay out exactly what he thinks it is, and then afterwards we could ask him a couple questions. And then
I'm not a fan of petri dish theory for, you know, one main reason, just how similar it is to the fucking helpless sinner fucking, you know, victim mentality of regular religion. It's just it's you know, it's just more mind control to me.
I think there's way too many reasons that it's not a viable option any longer. You know what I mean? 1,500 years ago or 2,500 years ago, whatever the fuck. What do you say? The 1500s was Copernicus? It's like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Going backwards, man. We are literally going backwards.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things they didn't understand in the 1500s, like
medicine,
where the plague came from.
Yeah, you know, washing your hands.
Fucking rats.
Mm.
All right. Well,
they understood wigs though, and fluffy clothes. They had that shit down.
Right. Powder and perfume. I don't know if I got to stop thinking about this before I get a headache. He was solid in his terminology. I should have been writing some of that shit down so that I could look it up to find his sources, because it didn't really seem like he he understood what he was saying for the like obviously part of him did understand what he was trying to explain, but a lot of times, like when he was talking about seeing the sun at 8 times away, he kept using a word. What did he say? He kept substituting a different word for perceive. Like you can't perceive it with your eyes. Substantiate or whatever he said. He kept using a different word when, you know what I mean. How easy is it to say you can't see it that far?
Yeah. It's a well-used strategy on the flat Earth fucking side, is to
jargon.
To use jargon and just be overly fucking confident in it. But going so far as to say is no, don't use Google. Don't look up any of the shit that I say or try to back up your shit.
Thank you, Sharon.
You can't resolve it.
You can't resolve it. It's like, you mean see it. That's what you mean, right? Resolve it. Nanashi, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. That was a very interesting conversation. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but I don't know what it was. I didn't think he was serious either until he started getting into the lingo and the.
Yeah, when he came in with flat, you guys want to have a flat chat. It definitely seemed, I had not expected to be so such an educated argument on his part.
Well, I mean, he's probably fucking been through it all. It seemed like people have asked him many of the questions that we asked him. He was ready for a few of them. I don't know. I got the W on the Tides though, so.
Yeah, you did. You saved it. You saved it for us. Because there was going to be no W any other way. Because he's just going to dance around. He said, "Oh fuck, you got me." Shit.
Yeah, we don't know that yet, but I could tell you it's not the moon.
Yeah, celestial bodies in space, gravitational pull. It's like, yeah, none of that's real. So yeah, none of this shit exists or has any effect.
Right.
Yeah, it's rough.
It seemed like a tag team of two professors.
Like, gravity and fucking, celestial bodies is why I believe in fucking astronomy and shit like that. Because, these things are real. These forces are real. They must have an effect.
Yeah. Yeah. My buddy Time Guy is, he's pretty good at breaking down conversations. The other guy that jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely enjoy the very few conversations I have had with him, and he's a lefty too, Actually, I'm not sure if he's a lefty. He might be centrist. I can't wait to resolve you guys next week. Right? Well, we'll be here. Hopefully, we'll keep attracting interesting characters to continue some of these. I don't know, interesting conversations. I don't even know how to describe that. I might actually have to watch the VOD back just to hear everything he had to say again. Because in my head, I was just laughing. Like there were probably 5 or 6 times throughout the conversation where I just had to laugh.
Yeah, and I lost my point a couple times because I just laugh and he'd go on something else, and I'd just be like, "Wait, what is this now?" Fuck. He came prepared. I was not prepared for that. But next time.
Right. And he used that against us, that we did not have all of the evidence at hand for a global centric universe model.
Like, man, you don't watch you just told me that I'm a follower of the ideology of science. Do you not watch this show? What the fuck?
You couldn't hardly hear him. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what that was about. I tried to adjust the mic. I think it's just because me and Red have, microphones, and he probably was on his phone or something, maybe a headset. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I heard him pretty well. I'll see if I'll watch mine back and see if I got good audio on my my stream or not. Because that shit was good. I'll cut it up and we'll post it on the tubes and then in the discords.
Yeah.
Put it in the research links tabs on Discord so everybody can dissect it for themselves.
Right.
Do your own research. We're not gonna censor the flat chat.
Yeah, the chat is definitely delayed a little bit. It's not too bad, but the chat is definitely delayed a little bit. Oh man, there's so much more I wanted to ask him. I wanted to just dig in, you know what I mean? But it's like we had 3 people that were all like flabbergasted all at the same time. That was fun. I want to talk to him again. I like that guy. He doesn't go halfway, you know what I mean? I respect somebody like that. If you're going for it, you better fucking go all the way.
Do it.
Fucking do it. All right, guys. I think that's about it. We've had enough fun for the evening, unless somebody wants to jump in and tell us how the Earth is 4,000 years old.
Oh, I'm game for that one.
Yeah. I've been waiting to have that conversation too. That's always a fun one. But on that note, I'm Blizz81.
Big Red 773. Records v Plugs. Peace out. Stay safe out there. Stay positive.
And we'll be back.
Resolve us.